tonight throughout all those memorable moments, whether it was Richard Sherman's infamous rant, Drake Greenlaw's goal line stop that won the game in 2019. These teams have both bathed in success and also tasted that sorry pain of defeat. Tonight provides opportunity. It offers hope. A win and you stand just one game away from reaching the Super Bowl. One of these sides will end the night sleepless in Seattle. For the victor, well, the party may just be getting started as the captains head to midfield. Let me hand you over to your commentary team this evening, alongside the former San Francisco offensive lineman Alfredo Gutierrez, your match commentator. And if you don't know who he is, where on earth have you been these last few days? He's captured the attention of NFL greats and fans alike with his passionate play calling. Get ready for the noise. It's talkSPORT's very own Will Gavin.
Thank you very much, Will Varney at midfield. Let's go straight to John Hussey for the toss.
What is your call? Tails? Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is tails. San Francisco has won the toss and deferred. Seattle will receive in this direction. Good luck, gentlemen.
So Carl Juszczyk correctly calls tails, defers, and we will see Sam Darnold with that oblique injury out onto the field first. This is a San Francisco 49ers team who, under Brock Purdy, over their last 4 appearances here at Lumen Field, are 4-0, going all the way back to week 1 of this season. But these are 2 very different squads to the squads we saw in week 1 of this year. For the 49ers, injury ravaged, as I said last week, battered, beaten and bruised, but refusing to lie down. They come here to Seattle, and Will Varney saw this week with almost an odd sense of calm about where their season has now reached. This city, I've only been here for today, but it is absolutely teeming with energy for the home team to be the number 1 seed once more in front of 69,000 fans here in Lumen Field. It's the 4th time the Seahawks have reached the number 1 seed, the previous 3 times. In 05, in 2013, in 2014, they went all the way to the Super Bowl. Right, we're waiting. We've got lining up with the kick right around the mid 35-yard line. Back with you in just a moment. We just lost a little bit of connectivity down in our booth. We're up here in a radio booth this week, not out in the open like we were last week. And so just bear with us one moment while we get our get back up and running so we can hear exactly what is happening out on the field. Eddie Pinheiro is lined up ready for the kick from the 35-yard line, and there we go. There are those Seattle fans, the 12s, incredibly loud here in Seattle. I just promised they're actually here. We're just in a booth up in the top, and as the referee John Hussey blows his whistle, Eddie Pinheiro lines up to take the kick. Back deep for the Seahawks, just a single man in the middle of the field is Rashid Shaheed. He's going to receive it right on the E of the Seahawks, out at the 5-yard line, down to the 10, 15, 20, 25, gets Max Fine to man, gets a hole, 25, 40, he's all the way down to the 50-yard line. Eddie Pinheiro tries to trip him up, 30, 35, 20, 25, 10, 5, touchdown Rashid Shaheed! The Seahawks take it 96 yards all the way for a touchdown, and there is a flag on the field, but if this is to count, it will be the second 95-plus yard touchdown of the season for Rashid Shaheed. We're going to have to hear from John Hussey exactly what this flag's going to be, but I think it's going to be for tripping on Eddie Pinheiro, and I think that's going to be a touchdown for this Seattle side. They are having a meeting right around the 15-yard line in front of us. We are hearing a little bit from the middle of the field, and well, the team's out on the field. Is that the special teams unit out there, or are we seeing the offense for the Seahawks? Bear with us, let's get what the call is. John Hussey, 5th fewest flags in a game this season, steps up to tell us exactly what this is. Bit of drama. And then his mic's not on, even more drama.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And Lumen Field has come unglued. Rashid Shaheed, a sensational year for him, his 3rd touchdown of the season. This one, a 96-yard kickoff return. He found a crease right at the 40-yard line and returned it all the way back for 6. And this 49ers team had such a narrow window to potentially win this game of football, as they're going to enforce the 15-yard penalty on Eddie Pinheiro for tripping on the extra point, making it incredibly short, around a 26-yarder. Stepping up to take the kick is going to be Jason Myers. He has been sensational this season with the boot. And the crowd here aren't going to be silenced by that opening. Is up and kick is good. Jason Myers, a perfect 49 on points after this season. And Alfredo Gutierrez, well, this 49ers team felt like they were playing from behind before we even got to this game, and they start off with a 7-0 deficit.
Yeah, 49ers special teams that were doing great through the whole season, and right now in this divisional game when it's more important, they let a big gap to go, and there you go, 22.
Rashid
Shaheed, yeah, returning the kick.
Oh, unbelievable. What a way to start this game. They couldn't start in a hole, they couldn't start down. This was not the way the 49ers could kickstart this game, and there are shades of Super Bowl 48 here, where the Seahawks came into the game so pumped up. Peyton Manning snapped the ball over his head, and they started the game with a defensive score. Now the impetus on the 49ers, who scored just 3 points against Seattle at home 2 weeks ago, the last game that the Seahawks played. The lowest yardage total in Kyle Shanahan's history at 175, and it's going to be on Brock Purdy's shoulders to make some magic happen. Back to return the kickoff for the 49ers. Sky Moore on this right hand side. They go for a little grubber kick, and in fact that's going to be a flag on the play. I don't think that's fallen in the landing zone, and that means the 49ers are going to have excellent starting position to start this drive. Well, that's good news for the 49ers, Alfredo. At least we're getting good starting position for this drive, but starting in a 7-0 hole when it felt like they already had one hand tied behind their back with no George Kittle today, no Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa. Now an opportunity for the Seahawks, if they can get a stop with this much vaunted #1 scoring defense, to put a clamp on this game early doors. Brock Purdy comes out under centre. Christian McCaffrey behind him in the backfield. It is 21 personnel with Kyle Juszczyk moving across the formation from left to right. Ricky Pearsall left, single receiver on the right hand side. Juszczyk into the backfield. It's a fake. Purdy looking downfield. He's under pressure. He's hit as he throws, and the ball falls incomplete right around the 40-yard line. The Seahawks will attempt to return this one. It's Nick Emenwari running all the way into the end zone to our far right hand side, but it is ruled an incomplete pass. Ball was going forward, and it will be a 2nd and 10 right around that 35-yard line.
This is what it's all about: physicality, pressure down the middle, creating this disruption so Purdy won't be able to pass the ball.
Brian Robinson Jr. into the game for Purdy. Jake Tunges in as well. Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings split out left. Juice and Tunges on the right-hand side. Robinson in the backfield in the offset eye. Purdy in the gun. Stomps his feet at the 40-yard line. The ball starting. Has some time in the pocket. Throws. Finds Jennings right around the 45. He's picked up maybe 4 yards on that play, but he is wrestled out of bounds by Drake Thomas, who had that interception return against the 49ers earlier this season. And that's now going to be a 3rd and 6. And the home crowd here in Lumen Field are going to be invited to get out of their seats and get loud. The 49ers not going tempo. They do huddle up, Alfredo, but they are trying to get off the ball relatively quickly. Nickel defense being shown by that fierce pass rush of the Seattle Seahawks. DeMarcus Lawrence lining up in a wide 9. Purdy has 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. It's just going to be a straight drop back. 3 now on the left-hand side of the formation. He's forced to scramble. Out to his right. 35. Throws it to Pearsall just right around the sticks. In fact, it's Jake Tunges at the 49-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. That's a 1st down for the San Francisco 49ers.
When a quarterback can lose the packet and find a way to throw the pass and be able to find open guys too, it really helps you finding these kind of yards. They needed this 1st down to keep the crowd low.
Jake Tunges, when George Kittle isn't in the game, he has a sensational record. We'll go over it in a moment, but they're already back out and under centre. Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, trips receivers to the left. Kyle Juszczyk goes in motion. They hand it off to McCaffrey. Makes a step, makes a man miss. Out past the 45-yard, down to about the 40 3-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks, 6-yard pickup on first down. That's going to be a 2nd and 4. Christian McCaffrey, this defense held him to just one successful run in the last meeting between these two teams 2 weeks ago. No explosive runs, a 31% success rate overall for the offense. They completely smothered the 49ers, but right now a first down and a successful run early doors will put them in positive position. DeMarcus Robinson to the left, 3 receivers to the right. Juwan Jennings goes out in motion. They'll toss it to Brian Robinson Jr. Stutters, makes a man miss, gets right down to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short. They're going to mark him down at the 40. It's going to be 3rd and 1 San Francisco at the Seattle Seahawks 40-yard line.
49ers has a pretty good conversion on 3rd and 1s. They use this Purdy dog play, which they push Purdy to get the first down. Let's see how they do.
This is the best 3rd down team conversion on offense against the best 3rd down stoppage team on defense. This down will decide how this game goes today, and with the crowd as loud as it is here in Lumen Field, you can imagine that is going to be even tougher. Purdy comes out under centre, McCaffrey behind him in the backfield. Juwan Jennings goes in motion. They do hand the ball off to McCaffrey. Step to the right. He's wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage, brought down about a yard shy. Byron Murphy on the tackle. And now what do you do, Kyle Shanahan? You've already down 7 thanks to giving up the kickoff return to start the game. It's going to be 4th and a very long 1 yard, and the offense stays out on the field. Alfredo, what are you doing here?
I don't know. Just kick it, punt it. This defense is pretty good on stopping the run.
Well, if they're not trying to draw them off sides, they are going for it. Purdy moves McCaffrey out wide, goes out into the gun, 5 yards deep. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. He does take the ball. Juwan Jennings is available to his right hand side. He's forced to scramble at the 50, throws to Jennings out past the numbers, but the play is blown dead, and it's blown dead for a timeout for the Seattle Seahawks. They took it just before the ball was snapped. The play was successful, but the play was blown dead before the ball came out of Purdy's hands.
I just think they took forever to take the timeout. But it's a great choice by the Arden, which is from the UK actually. He decided to pull the timeout right in just time.
Adam Dirty, the first British defensive coordinator in NFL history. He played in NFL Europe. He was an assistant at the Falcons, D-line coach at the Cowboys, and he has led this defense to be the #1 scoring defense in the NFL this season. They have been nothing short of sensational. They also play more nickel and dime than anyone else in the NFL, which, when you consider that Adam Dirty has a defensive line and pass rush background, is fascinating. But he and Mike McDonald work very closely together on these formations.
I met Adam in Florida. He was in the IPP. Pretty good guy.
Yeah, really good guy. Future head coach. He's going to be the first British head coach, but that doesn't matter right now because it's 4th and a very long 1 at around the 40-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. Tongue just goes in motion. Purdy is under centre. Now into the offset eye goes Kyle Juszczyk. Juszczyk takes the ball, runs off the edge, throw to Pish, to McCaffrey, ball goes down and it's incomplete. They fail to convert the 4th down, and the Seattle Seahawks defense that has been so sensational all year long stops the 49ers right around their own 40 and gives Sam Darnold excellent field position as he comes out onto the field for the very first time this evening.
You have to give these Seattle Seahawks their respect. They're pretty good stopping the run. You're trying to run the ball in 4th and 1. At least try to pass the ball like the play before that.
First down, Seattle.
Yeah, they call out of bounds.
So they're going to call it a backwards pass out of bounds. So actually they're not going to mark it, I don't think, at the initial line of scrimmage. I think they are going to bring it forward to the position that the ball went out of bounds, which is around the 44-yard line. It was a motion play from Kyle Juszczyk. Came across, took the handoff, and he was looking to throw the toss to McCaffrey the whole time, but it was so brilliantly read by Adam Dirty's Seahawks defense. 7-0 up and now out on offense. What a start this has been for the Seattle Seahawks, with still plenty of time in the first quarter left on the clock. 1st and 10. They are calling it at the 44-yard line. 11:16 left in this first quarter, gents.
Let's see how this offense do. Remember that Sam Darnold he had an oblique injury, but he did pretty well last week. I mean, 2 weeks ago against San Francisco. Actually, they're playing back to back.
I think if San Francisco had a real opportunity to win this game tonight,
I believe so.
Other than that other than that kickoff return, which has put them behind the sticks immediately, it was going to be pressuring Sam Darnold already, which is something they don't do very well. Lowest pressure rate, lowest number of sacks in the NFL this season. He does have 20 turnovers, which leads the NFL, and he does have that oblique injury, which we were down on the behind the end zone, Alfredo, pre-game when Sam Darnold came out and started throwing. And what was interesting is that as he was throwing and he was taking snaps, what they do is on their drills they work across the formation, right? So they start throwing to the left-hand side, move it into the centre, then right down the middle, right, left, and then out to the right-hand side, and they just run routes and slowly progress through them. Throwing to the left across his body, Darnold looked completely comfortable, absolutely no problem whatsoever. You did have a feeling that as he threw open body to his right-hand side, that there was clearly some pain there, like he was a little bit tense into the throw, he didn't quite have his feet, like, I feel like that side of the field, you almost want Demo to play right corner the entire game today and just force him to throw at Demo Lenore all night long. Because,
that's a great pointer.
Yeah, that's the guy that he's going to not want to be targeting if he can avoid it.
And Sam Darnold, remember, he knows this defense. He went against this defense for every day in practice for 2 years ago. So he knows his defense.
Obviously, Robert Saleh comes as a new defensive coordinator, but none of the action that he had previously necessarily has changed. Sam Darnold comes out under centre then. Centre man in motion from right to left is AJ Barner. Eric Sauber out there again in 12 personnel. They hand the ball off. Inside run. It's going to be brought down right around the 46-yard line. Good gain on first down for Kenneth Walker III. Huge game. He had 97 yards and 4 runs over 10 yards in that last game against the 49ers. And this one will start the game with a 3-yard pickup, and they go hurry up in the gun. Walker alongside him. Darnold will look to throw. Throws to Walker over the middle. He's sat down on the route right around the 53 and is wrestled down at the 45-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. First down, Seattle. Worked his way through the progressions there, Darnold, and Walker just sat on the route right around the sticks, Alfredo.
You're saying right. He looks comfortable turning through the middle. We haven't seen the left or right, but he seems good.
Darnold in the gun. They are going hurry up. Walker alongside him. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Straight drop back for Darnold. Looks to a man over the middle. Jackson Smith and Jigba targeted. Demo Lenore was there on the pass breakup. Potentially could have picked it. Low throw into the ground, almost throwing it away, Sam Darnold, and that'll be a 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line.
That was a dangerous throw. Short pass against Lenore. Pretty good receiver. Who was that receiver?
It was Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, I'll tell you, over his 2 games against the 49ers, he's got some very interesting stats this season. I'll tell you about them shortly, because Darnold back out under centre, 2nd and 10, sends his fullback, Robert Utes, from right to left, and now lines up in the eye. Behind him is Zach Charbonnet on the 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line. Hands the ball off to Charbonnet. Utes as a lead blocker, gets a burst, gets out past the 35-yard line, down to the 30 and pushed out of bounds there. Another explosive run for this Seahawks offense, and that is going to be a first down at the San Francisco 49ers 30. This game going very much to script from what we saw 2 weeks ago right now for this running game.
That was a great block by Sobert up front. You really want this defense to be able to stop the 1st and 2nd downs, make him a throw in 3rd down, make him play Sam Darnold quarterback.
For the first time in this game, they do huddle up. Sam Darnold comes out under centre, 12 personnel. 1 receiver right in Cooper Kupp, 1 receiver left in Jackson Smith in Jigba. He calls for the reload as he sends AJ Barner initially in motion. He's got Robert Utes and behind him, Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet makes 1 cut up, stutter steps, make a man miss, and then is hit by Renardo Green around the 26-yard line. A 4-yard pickup on first down. That'll be 2nd and 6 from the 26, right around the numbers on the near side of the field to us. I didn't tell you, the Seahawks, by the way, wearing their standard blue pants, blue helmet, blue jersey, playing from left to right as we're watching this one. The 49ers in their road change, white jersey, gold pants, and white socks, gold helmets. They come out, this time Darnold in the gun, 2nd and 6 from the 27-yard line. Darnold calls for the ball. He's got Kenneth Walker alongside him in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Rashid Shaheed out onto the field now. He looks for the left-hand side, he throws for the left-hand side. That's Cooper Kupp right around the sticks, pushed out of bounds at the San Francisco 49ers 21-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 21, just short, as you hear the home crowd with those calls of cool.
Yeah, because they know they have their offense rolling. They look connect, they look sharp, and if they score, they're gonna go they can go 13-0, you know.
Right, 21-yard line. They're going to come out in a tush-push formation. Big boys up front. It's a tight end taking the snap in AJ Barner. He's calling for it, almost trying to draw them offside. Eventually does take the snap, pushes it forward. That seems to get it out past the 20. The touch judge on the far side comes in and indicates that that's going to be a first down to the Seattle Seahawks. We'll wait for where they finally spot the ball, and they're going to move the chains and call it a 1st and 10 from the 20 into the red zone for the first time today. This Seahawks offense in the red zone this season, it has been an area that they have struggled. Just 21st in touchdown conversion in the NFL, and actually the 49ers defense are 12th in red zone defense in the NFL. So this is a point of strength. Can you hold them to a field goal here? If you're San Francisco, Sam Darnold in the gun, single back alongside him. He sends Jackson Smith and Jigba in a little orbit motion, hands the ball off to Walker, but there is a flag on the play, and it's going to be a full start against the Seahawks offensive line. Number 72, it is called on, right tackle Abraham Lucas, the 4th-year man out of Washington State, and that will move them back to the 25-yard line, 1st and 15.
Man, you gotta be smart. Remember last week the Eagles did these kind of mistakes, and it cost them a lot.
Seahawks huddled up at the 30, ball set at the 25. 49ers come out in nickel defense, 2 linebackers on the field and 4 down linemen showing pressure off the right hand side. They will hand it off to Kenneth Walker running off the left, manages to make the man miss, gets down to the 20, down to the 18-yard line. The 49ers picks up that yardage lost and more, and it's going to be a 2nd and 8 from the 18. Renardo Green in on the tackle eventually.
And Kenneth Walker, without explosion, he's exploding the outside zone. He's running pretty well tonight.
We saw it outside the numbers. That's where the Eagles had success last week, and then for some reason they moved back inside. Saquon Barkley, when he was going outside the numbers, had some big plays. Now the Seahawks are exploiting what they saw from this 49ers defense last week. Sam Darnold under center, sending Cooper Kupp in motion from left to right. It's an offset eye behind him with Robbie Oots in behind Kenneth Walker. It's a fake, rolling out to his right at the 30, finds Cooper Kupp at the 11-yard line, spun out of bounds. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down once again. And this is going to be 3rd and 1 at the 49ers 11. Are we going to see another modified tush-push like we saw AJ Barner being pushed over the line again? Are they leaving the big boys in for the Seahawks offense? Come in Rashid Shaheed, in comes Zach Charbonnet. He's been in the red zone, their absolute bully. 12 touchdowns this season to Kenneth Walker's just 5, and in fact they're going to come out with Darnold in the gun. Charbonnet alongside him, ball goes to Charbonnet, steps on the outside and he's hit 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by D. Winters, and that's going to be a loss of yardage on 3rd down. And on 4th and 5, out comes the field goal unit, and that has to be seen as a win for the San Francisco 49ers, considering everything that's happened in the first, incredibly eventful 10 minutes of this game.
No, that was a great call from Salah right now, and then D. Winters too. He saw the run and he's blowed that gap and take the tackle for loss.
It's a 31-yard field goal attempt, then Jason Myers inside 30, 14 of 15 this season. Showing like they're going to come heavy off the left-hand side, looking to block this. The 49ers, Kendrick sitting just behind it. The ball is up, the kick is up, and it is good. Jason Myers from 31 yards adds to the Seahawks lead with 5 minutes left and 6 seconds in this first quarter. Seattle lead the 49ers 10-0, but considering this game started off with a long Rashid Shaheed touchdown from the kickoff and the turnover on downs from the 49ers, that has to be considered a win. What will Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense do when they get back out? Up next here on talkSPORT. How are the effects sounding? Good. Do you want to switch it to line and turn it sounds? We also got our effects mic on now. Yeah, we've lost the pressure.
I turned it right up.
I think if we supplement it with ours as well, that's fine. Where's ours plugged in at the moment? Yeah, that'll have to do. Back with NFL Live on talkSPORT. We've got 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first quarter here in Seattle, and the Seahawks, the #1 seed in the NFC, going up against their storied NFC West rivals, find themselves 10-0 up in this first quarter. A Rashid Shaheed 95-yard kickoff return touchdown started this game in as explosive fashion as it possibly could. The 49ers then turned the ball over on downs in Seattle territory before they led a long field goal drive down the field. A good stop by the 49ers defense. 6:10 off the clock, 11 plays, 44 yards on that drive, and now Jason Myers sets up for the second time for us seeing this 49ers offense on the field. Two back to field this one. I believe it's Ricky Pearsall and Sky Moore, and the ball is up big, high, arching end over end is fielded right around the 5 by Sky Moore, out to the 20, 25, cuts back to the inside. I thought he had a hole on the outside there. Instead he gets down to the 28-yard line of the 49ers, and it gets a little bit chippy afterwards. Alfredo, little bit of afters, little bit of niggle going on out on the field, and the refs are having to come in and separate the special teams players.
These refs call before the game, explain to you that they don't want this kind of game. They won't throw the flag at the first one, but if they see this again, they're gonna go crazy with flags, and you don't want this in playoff.
This stadium, this Lumen Field, is one of the most imposing atmospheres in the NFL. But Brock Purdy is 4-0 here in his career. He is as settled of a quarterback as you'll find as he comes out in a T-wing formation with Juszczyk and McCaffrey either side of him. Sends Tunges in motion from right to left, and now Juszczyk goes out into the flat, hands the ball off to McCaffrey, running off the left-hand side, gets out to the 31-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks, and that's going to be about a 3-yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 7 out past the 30.
Offensive line, they're doing a great job, but this defense is so aggressive, so physical, that they've been able to have the tackle before McCaffrey gets his gap open.
Yeah, they are hit so early. This defense absolutely swarmed to the ball, as we've already seen in this game. Right, Purdy in the gun, empty backfield, has McCaffrey out wide to the right. One receiver left, one receiver right, takes the straight drop back. Pearsall is available over the middle. He goes to his right-hand side, finds Tunges, out to the 40, down to the 41-yard line. Ball is out and picked up by the Seattle Seahawks. Returned back to the 36-yard line. I don't think he was down, and that's going to be called Seahawks ball. This absolutely astonishing start to this game for the Seahawks defense as Julian Love scoops the ball back up for Seattle. They had the first down, they could have gone down. Instead, they went for it all, and Jake Tunges has the ball ripped out of his grasp by Ernest Jones. Unbelievable, this Seahawks defense is so special.
When it looked like the offensive was getting this rhythm, it comes this big play from the defense. Seattle's defense is totally rocking this game.
What a play it was initially from Purdy in the pocket. Had pressure off the right-hand side. DeMarcus Lawrence was absolutely crushing the pocket on that side. Threw it to Tunges, and you thought first down, nice drive starter, picked up that first down, got out to near midfield. And it's just a brilliant play from Ernest Jones, who has 5 interceptions on the season, and now that forced fumble to add on top of it. As I say, Julian Love recovering it as the lineman came and tried to fall. In fact, I think it's Carl Juszczyk who tried to fall on the ball, and that is absolutely devastating for this travelling 49ers team. 5 interceptions and a first forced fumble on the season now for Ernest Jones. 10-0 then the Seahawks. We are having a break as they do confer at midfield. Sam Darnold is throwing down here, and they've asked to reset the game clock to 4:17 as it continued rolling after the play. They're going to mark Julian Love down in the end at the 42-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. And this 49ers defense already very early doors in this game have been on the field for 6 minutes and 23 seconds of the 10 minutes so far. They've had the only 5 days of rest compared with the Seahawks 13, and the one thing they couldn't do was get in a hole in this game.
That actually hurts. You need to rest. You need to.
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, okay. You need to rest. You need to have at least 4 days, 5 days to be back on track. Even George Kittle says that it is like you have a car accident every day. You know, every play when you play football. So you do need those rests. And Seattle is rested. He has 2 weeks without contact, and you can tell they have a bunch of energy.
Look, in no way am I making any excuse for any team in this situation. You have to play 11v11 on the field every down, fight every down for your brothers out there. But the record in the NFL when there is an 8+ day rest difference between teams, in this situation 13 days and 5 days, since 1984 in the playoffs, the team with more rest is 7-0.
Yeah.
They score an average of 20+ points. The opposition in 6 of 7 games have scored less than 10. It is a disadvantage already for a hurt 49ers team, and they're just killing themselves with special teams plays and now turnovers as well, as Sam Darnold comes out under centre, 4 down linemen for the 49ers, 1 receiver left, 1 receiver right, and in Jigba and Cooper Kupp single back in the backfield. They do bring the receiver on the right hand side, Jake Bobo, back in line to fake rollout. Sam Darnold gets brought down right around the 47-yard line, and Malik Mustafa came off the far end of the line like an absolute missile and took Sam Darnold down for a huge sack on that first down. He loses 10 yards, and it's going to be a 2nd and 20. He's back past the halfway line. Halfway line? I went all soccer with that one. Past the 50.
Second year Mustafa playing with absolutely. Look how he plays. It sounds a little lovely, but playing a guy with that physical, that speed. Look at the speed, man.
Yeah. That oblique injury, you wonder if he's protecting himself down as he comes out in a T-wing formation, sitting just off the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They bail out. He goes for a deep shot. He has Cooper Kupp. He has Cooper Kupp for 20 yards, and he has Cooper Kupp on the far sideline, the left-hand side, for a first down Seattle. What a play that is from Sam Darnold. What a play design that is from this Seahawks offense, and what a way to advance the ball. Fair play, Clint Kubiak, down to the 31-yard line of the 49ers. Massive.
He looks pretty confident throwing to the left side, like you said.
Yeah, that's the side of the field he's going to look all day long today. And you have Malik Mustafa and Renardo Green in coverage on that side. That's what he wants to see. Right, he's out in the gun. Kenneth Walker alongside him. Rashid Shaheed to the left of the formation. 2 receivers to the right. He sends Jackson Smith and Jibba in an orbit motion and has him available on a screen, but it's a quick pressure from Upton Stout, quick blitz, and he's forced to just throw the ball away. Sam Darnold, Upton Stout coming on the safety blitz off the left-hand side, and Sam Darnold cleverly turfs the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 10 at the San Francisco 31-yard line.
I think the San Francisco defense is doing a good job. It's just the Seattle Seahawks, they just find a way to have a big play.
There's very few blitzes in this 49ers team this season. They blitz at the lowest rate in the NFL. They do disguise coverage at the lowest rate in the NFL. And tonight already, a couple of big safety blitzes for Stout and for Malik Mustafa. Right, out in the gun, takes the snap. Kenneth Walker alongside him. He's going to have to step up in the pocket down. Throws the ball over the top. There's late contact, early contact from Marcus Seagley. That ball looked like it was going to fall short of the receiver in Rashid Shaheed, but Seagley contacted him early, and that wobbler instead is going to turn into defensive pass interference, and they're going to get the ball inside the 10-yard line. A huge mistake from the rookie safety coming in for Jair Brown. He was sensational last week coming in for the 49ers, and that is absolutely killer at a point where that looked like that was going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do those mistakes. I mean, you're a rookie, but it's no excuses, man.
I think he had an opportunity to pick that ball potentially. That's how much of a wobbler it was, and instead they're going to have 1st and goal right around the 8-yard line. Kupp goes in motion from right to left. The fullback is in there as well as a blocker. Darnold hands the ball off to Walker. 1 cut to the right, gets to the 5, down to the 4-yard line, and is wrestled down by that 49ers defensive line just inside the 5. Picks up maybe 2 on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line, Seattle.
He couldn't find the cut line because the cutback lane was there.
They bring Jake Bobo, who's a great blocking wide receiver, and Robbie Oots out of the game, and they bring the receivers in Cooper Kupp and in Rashid Shaheed. Suggests throwing play, but Clint Kubiak has done a lot out of these looks this season as Darnold comes out under centre, 2 receivers to the right, and he already sends Eric Sauber, the former 49er, in motion from right to left. Now AJ Barner as well lines up as a fullback in the offset eye. He fakes the handoff to Kenneth Walker, rolling out to his left. D Winters trying to close him down, and he just throws that ball incomplete. It's hit by D Winters as he throws the ball and is claiming there should be a flag on the play. Has that been caught? I think that's going to go as a touchdown. Jackson's with the jib, but that's absolutely sensational. It looked like he was dirting the ball, Sam Darnold, and instead Jackson Smith-Njigba scoops that one up, and it's a touchdown Seattle. They go 16-0 up, and from our vantage point here, I thought that was no chance that was complete. Jackson Smith-Njigba, back corner of the end zone, gets his knee down. Sensational stuff from the leading receiver in yardage in the NFL this season, and they'll look to add the extra point to make this a 17-point game in the first quarter with 1:50 remaining. Absolutely devastating for San Francisco. D Winters tried to close down Sam Darnold. Ball is down. Jason Myers' kick is up, and it is good. 17-point advantage. They had 7 off the special teams play, a field goal off the turnover on downs, and now a touchdown off the turnover, and suddenly this 49ers team find themselves in a deep, dark hole. Can they do anything to climb out of it? We'll find out up next, here with NFL Live on talkSPORT. Mate, that was a case of I just couldn't see it past this glass. I need to look at the screen. I think we got away with the call. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, just leave it there. Okay. I just make noises sometimes. I don't want to like. No. All right. It's better. Just gonna leave it like that.
30 seconds.
You'll see the crowd going now.
NFL Live on talkSPORT. I'm Will Gavin, and we are live in Seattle for Seahawks 49ers. It's all NFC West clash in the NFC Divisional round, and this looks like it's just going to have been a hurdle too far for Kyle Shanahan's bruised and beaten up 49ers team. Everything that could have gone wrong in this game has gone wrong, and this Seahawks side look absolutely dominant. 17-0 up in this first quarter. Rashid Shaheed's 95-yard kickoff return to kick things off. Jason Myers adding a 31-yard field goal off a turnover on downs, and then Jackson Smith-Njigba with the short pass from Sam Darnold makes it a 17-0 3-score game. There's a lot of Niners fans in the far side of the stand from us. Well, they have fallen deadly silent on that side. It's incredibly loud from the Seahawks fans here as Sky Moore fields that in the end zone of the Seahawks, takes a knee, and the 49ers will start at the 35-yard line. Alfredo Gutierrez, former offensive tackle of this 49ers team, former roommate of Brock Purdy. Does Purdy have this in him after those turnovers? Does this team have it in them to come from this big of a deficit and still win this game of football?
We'll see. Brock Purdy has this clutch. I believe in him, but this defense isn't legit.
Absolutely legit. He might have Trent Williams back and looking healthier than ever, but this crowd in Seattle are making such a huge difference as well tonight, as the defensive line, Leonard Williams, encouraging them to get loud. Purdy comes out under the centre, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's 12 personnel as he sends Kyle Juszczyk from right to left and lines up on the left hand side, now into the offset eye, fakes the handoff to McCaffrey, has him available on the check down, goes to him, Brendel gets a block upfield, out to the 40, 45 and out past the 45 yard line for a first down, brought down just past that first down marker. It'll be an 11-yard pickup on the catch from Christian McCaffrey. First down, San Francisco.
That's how you slow down defenses, by playing the screen game, and that's what you want, because this defense is playing fast, physical.
Luke Farrell into the game for Jake Tunges at tight end. 49ers huddled up at midfield. It's so loud in here, you can barely hear yourself think as they go heavy line on the close side of the formation to the right. Ricky Pearsall is a single receiver on the open side. Purdy makes a change at the line of scrimmage, pulls out of protection, falls back into the gun, brings Juice in motion, gives it to McCaffrey now for a run. Off Kyle Juszczyk on that right hand side, gets maybe 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 8 at the 47-yard line.
That's a 12-man. The crowd, it doesn't let you hear the can. It makes you not paying attention to what you're supposed to do.
I mean, how difficult is it when you can't hear those changes to the protections, when you can't hear the quarterback? You saw Purdy had to rush up to the line instead of calling it. Like, his cadence is reasonably strong, Purdy, but nobody could hear him from his position in the gun, where he is again with Christian McCaffrey alongside him. Now Tunges moving from left to right. DeMarcus Robinson and Juwan Jennings on the left of the formation. Pearsall, the lone man, on the right. Purdy takes a straight drop back, he has pressure, but goes to McCaffrey out past the 50, 51-yard line. McCaffrey goes down protecting the ball, and that'll be a 5-yard pickup and leaves them in a 3rd and 4 from just in opposition territory with 10 seconds left on the clock in this first quarter. The 49ers do initially huddle up. They're not going to have to go far when they flip the field here at the end of the first. Time ticks down, and at the end of the first quarter, the Seattle Seahawks couldn't be happier with the outcome of this game. 17-0 up. The San Francisco 49ers driving to try and make this a 2-score game, as we bring you live and exclusive NFL coverage from here in Lumen Field, Seattle, on talkSPORT. Shouldn't we do an Aussie Open update here? Shouldn't we? Hey, we can't because it's sponsored, and I'll get in trouble. I don't know, down here somewhere, like here sometimes. Yeah, we can't. I'll get in trouble, mate. Plus, Ferry is winning, so we should do it. If we're not going to have time here, let's do it on the next time out. Is there an inline for it? Can you WhatsApp it to me? In fact, could you WhatsApp me the competition read and the... or you, whoever. NFL Playoff Live's on talkSPORT 2 from Lumen Field, Seattle, where the San Francisco 49ers, on the road as the 6th seed, find themselves in a very difficult position, down 17-0 to this dominant Seattle Seahawks side, this brilliant Seahawks defense. They've had 7 points off special teams, 10 points off turnovers so far, and look, this is a team who only scored 13 against San Francisco twice in the regular season, but right now they are dominating this game with 17 first quarter points. San Francisco have the ball. It's a 3rd and 4 at the 49-yard line of the Seahawks. DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams encouraging the crowd to get loud. 5 players with 40-plus pressures in this team. That defensive line is so fierce for the Seahawks. flying around and causing all sorts of issues. Purdy comes out in the gun. Two receivers to the left, sends McCaffrey out in motion on the right hand side. Pearsall there as well, he checks the play up at the line of scrimmage, has McCaffrey now alongside him on his left. Brendel snaps the ball, blocked from McCaffrey. Purdy has to step up in the pocket, scrambles out to this side, throws all the way across the formation to Jake Tunges, who goes down at the 40-yard line. And I'll tell you, as Jake Tunges brought that ball in, he took two arms and he wrapped it up and he went to the ground saying, I'm not fumbling it a second time, ladies and gentlemen. First down, San Francisco into Seattle territory.
That was a dangerous play, throwing backwards, running to your right and throwing backwards. I don't know, it's a dangerous play.
It looked like Purdy was trying to run for the first down. Nick Emenwari had Christian McCaffrey covered over the middle, and he ended up throwing it to Tunges. There was a little almost natural pick play in the middle of the field, which got him open. Now it's a toss play to McCaffrey on the right-hand side, and he is brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Gets maybe a yard gain on the play. It's Derek Hall, the linebacker, in on the tackle, and that's going to be second. And they might even call it 8 to be kind from the 37-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks.
I thought it was a gap there to run, but this defense closed it so fast.
It's unbelievable. The names we haven't even mentioned yet, and some of them are just, as I say, flying to the ball and doing incredible things early doors. Derek Hall lining up on the left of this line, Reek Woolen on the right, showing press coverage with two deep safeties. Purdy in the gun, crowd gets loud. Tunges goes in a looping motion out to the right hand side. It's going to be a straight drop back for Purdy. Has a little bit of time in the pocket, goes to McCaffrey over the middle, down to 35, out to the 30, and that'll be a first down. The San Francisco 49ers, the touch judge on the far side, maybe half a yard short. I think they're going to mark this one as a first down at the 29-yard line.
They give them the first down.
If you are going to get consistent play from this team, you're going to need Christian McCaffrey to turn up in a big way today. In on the tackle, by the way, Reek Woolen, he's been brilliant. Ernest Jones gets juked out of his boots, but he's allowed that after the forced fumble earlier on. 29-yard line now for the 49ers. Nickel being shown, in fact dime being shown by this Seahawks defense. Tunges gets out to the right hand side, and they're going to be forced to take a time out, the San Francisco 49ers, as the play clock was running down. 12:54 remaining in the quarter, 17-0, and they felt the need, they needed to move it forward. Let's now go to an Australian Open tennis update with TNT Sports. And it's Arthur Ferry who is in action on the opening day, who finds himself up against Coberly, the 20th seed, 7-6, 6-4 after two sets. He's also opened the third set, taking it on serve, 1-love up in the third set as well. A dominant performance so far from the French-British tennis player, as that's the latest from the Australian Open with TNT Sports. '49ers break the huddle. First and 10 at the 29. Crowd getting loud. McCaffrey is behind Purdy in the eye. Purdy sends him in motion, brings him back inside. Purdy stomps his foot, looks to the ball, two receivers to the left. McCaffrey stays in to block. He looks for a deep shot downfield. Jordan Jennings is there, and it's just over him right around the 9-yard line and will fall incomplete. Excellent coverage from Seattle. Purdy threw it where only Jennings could get it, but even so, the ball falls incomplete, and it'll be a second and 10 from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, you know what? I saw Ricky Pearsall open too with the right side, but he was looking just to the left side.
It's over the head of Nick Emenwari. It's a good throw, but maybe needed to be more to the sideline. Also in coverage out there, Kobe Bryant, who didn't play 2 weeks ago against this 49ers side. Right, 29-yard line, second and 10. They break the huddle. McCaffrey is wide to the left of Purdy. Purdy in the gun, brings McCaffrey back inside. Two receivers like two to the left. He's looking to the right-hand side towards Kendrick Bourne instead. Goes for the check down to McCaffrey and has to throw the ball away in coverage. Devin Witherspoon. Every name you throw out there is an all-pro level player. Third consecutive Pro Bowl, fourth in Seattle history, and it's now a third and long. I mean, San Francisco can make it a two-score game with a field goal here. It'll be, what, a 40, I can try and do the maths quickly, 47, 48-yarder for them from this distance. But desperately, they need to get 7 on the board on this drive. They're to have any chance of getting back in this NFC Divisional round game. Purdy claps his hands, looks for the snap. Jake Brendel looks back, gets the ball to him. McCaffrey stays in to block. He's got no options. Brilliant coverage on the left-hand side. Eventually goes to McCaffrey over the middle, out to the 25, down to about the 22-yard line, but he is swallowed up there by the brilliant Devon Witherspoon, and he's going to be about 4 yards short, maybe 3 of the 4th down, and Eddie Pinheiro comes out, and they're going to look to put their first points on the board of this game. I mean, Alfredo, when you consider everything that's happened in this game so far, I know you're a man that likes to take the points. Is there no part of you that would have considered going for it now?
No, I'll just take anything.
You love the points, Alfredo.
Yeah, I love the points.
You love the points,
man.
Right.
Let's take the dinero right now.
John Weeks to snap the ball. Morstead on the hold. Kick is up and kick is good. Eddie Pinheiro's 40-yarder gives the San Francisco 49ers their first points of the game with 11:58 left in the second quarter. 17-3 game, and now attention turns to Sam Darnold. Attention turns to the San Francisco 49ers defense, and they need to go out there and get a stop if they're to make a game of this, Alfredo.
You know what I see last week? The offensive linemen of San Francisco, of course, they were playing perfectly, almost no sacks. They were being able to Brock step in the pocket, stay there healthy. But right now, these defenses, four down linemen, they're playing incredibly tough, physical. They've been rushing the passer a couple times.
Well, the 1 seed Seattle Seahawks are playing here tonight to go to the NFC Championship game, as the Denver Broncos did in the AFC earlier today. And it means the Super Bowl is fast approaching, and talkSPORT is giving you and the mates a chance to be there live in person. You've got until Thursday to enter to win 2 tickets to Super Bowl 60 on Sunday the 8th of February, plus return flights to San Fran, 3 nights accommodation and $2,500 in spending money. In a few weeks you could be ticking the Super Bowl off your bucket list and exploring San Francisco. Sounds pretty good, right? Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Lines close this upcoming Thursday at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. It's a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. And if you go to talksport.com/competitions, all of those words I just said can also be found there and explain it to you.
I was trying to sign up, but no, you're good.
Go on, Alfredo, what were you saying?
No, I was trying to say no, but you said UK only.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alfredo. Well, it's in Santa Clara anyway, so can you not, get something wangled by the team, get them to sort you out? I'm not sure the 49ers are going to be there based on the...
we'll see. We have two
first 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Right, they do come out. 17-3 game. The 49ers defense have to get a stop. The Seahawks absolutely feeling themselves on the sideline in front of us. AJ Barner bumping in with Jackson Smith in jig, but they are so fired up and so ready to go. Single man back for the Seahawks, unsurprisingly, is Rashid Shaheed. A single blocker in front of him in Velus Jones Jr., who was brought up from the practice squad today and activated. And as we wait for the TV timeout and for the referee John Hussey to give us that signal to get us underway, the cheerleaders to our right hand side with their bright green, silver and blue pom-poms geeing up the crowd, who are all still on their feet in this lower bowl. It might feel like they're dominating so far, but the crowd here are acting like this is any other playoff game. Eddie Pinheiro's kick is high and going to drop right around the 5-yard line, where Shaheed will field it on the far right-hand numbers. He's got a hole again. He's out to the 35-yard line, brought down about the 37 in the end, and that means the Seahawks will start in relative plush territory. I mean, with Rashid Shaheed out there, should Eddie Pinheiro be considering just booting this out the back of the end zone every time?
I would do it, because special teams from Seahawks, they're doing a good job giving the advantage of field position.
The 49ers are the #1 special teams unit in the country. The Seahawks are the #3. The Seahawks very on top. Early doors. 1st and 10 then from the 37. Sam Darnold under centre, going from right to left. Centre man in motion in Eric Sorber. Has a single back in the backfield. It's Zach Charbonnet and hands the ball off, puts it in his gut. He goes to the left-hand side out to the 39-yard line, and he's wrapped up right around there by Eric Kendricks. About a 2-yard pickup on the play, and that'll be 2nd and 8 from the Seahawks 39.
Yeah, I don't want to be too technical, but these combinations from...
You be as technical as you like, sir.
Yeah, no, just by Cross and Sambell, they've been great. They opened the gap, but these defenses don't close it on time, and
Listen,
I see a weakness there.
It's very unlikely that a left guard will win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Gray Zabel has been nothing short of unbelievable this year. Darnold out in the gun, Walker alongside him brings Rashid Shaheed across the formation from right to left. It's a straight drop back. He's got Walker available on the check down. The defensive line overcommit. He gets out to the 40, out to the 45-yard line. Nice pickup on 2nd down. He's going to be about 2.5 yards short of the 1st down marker. They'll call it a 3rd and 2 just inside the 45-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. And, well, you saw, I said there, Jordan Elliott and Khalil Davis both massively overcommitted there and gave Kenneth Walker the chance to pick up an extra 3 or 4 yards.
What a way to slow down this defense. Kenneth Walker with a explosive play right there. 3rd and 2.
Darnold under centre. Zach Charbonnet into the game. Heavy set line to the left-hand side on the tight side of the formation. Shaheed now moving from left to right. They fake the handoff. Darnold with time in the pocket. Looks to throw it. Goes for it all. Down the middle. Upton Stout in coverage, and the ball falls incomplete. Right around the 10-yard line. Rashid Shaheed is there. And I just wonder, is that the kind of play where you know you're going to go for it on 4th down? No, Sam Darnold is coming off the field. They went for absolutely all of it. And the key there is the 49ers give up just the 1 first down. And for the first time tonight, the Seahawks' brilliant Aussie punter Mike Dickinson comes out to punt.
Yeah, that was one question. I think it's the first time they're going to punt it in this game.
Very much so. Mike Dickinson's season long this year is about a 60-yarder. He averages 49. He's going to be taking this at the 31, so looking to pin the 49ers back inside the 20. Sky Moore is back at the 10. He fakes out for it, tries to let it bounce, hopes it goes out of bounds, which it does, but is it on the sideline? I think it is. What a punt from Mike Dixon. The judge is going to move up to about the 3-yard line, but the San Francisco 49ers are going to be pinned right back at their own 3 with 10-12 left in the 2nd quarter here on talkSPORT. It only gets more difficult for the team behind. They did brilliantly to get a stop there, San Francisco, but now if you want to drive, you're going to have to drive 96 plus yards if you're going to make this a 1-score game.
Look at this special.
What? I love a good punt. Will Varney stood next to me. Don't you love a good special teams play? Don't you love a good punt? Brilliant stuff. He's just nodding.
Yeah, I love these kind of punts. I remember when I played Madden back in the day, they were like a drill to do these kind of punts. That was so difficult.
He's going to be just short of his. It's going to be just short of his longest of the season, going from the 45. So I think they have marked it at the 5, so that's quite kind to San Francisco. But a 50-yard net punt when you're breaking all the way near midfield is a pretty fantastic punt indeed. A little bit of hush descending on this stadium as you look around. I do wonder, the energy just coming down a little bit in the crowd in this 2nd quarter. The 49ers getting on the board, admittedly with a field goal, and then forcing the stoppage. We go into a TV timeout, and they're doing the usual. They've got the cheerleaders out on the sideline. They're trying to get the guys loud on the big screens. They're doing a kiss cam and everything else. So I have to bend down where our booth is to try and see the giant screen down by the Hawks' Nest. But yeah, I wonder if San Francisco, right, I'm trying to make this, I'm trying to justify this situation, Alfredo. If somehow Brock Purdy puts this team on his back here and drives 95 yards and they score a touchdown here and make it a 17-10 game, I don't know, if you're the Seahawks, lack of experience, Mike McDonald never in a playoff game so far, certainly not as a head coach, has been as a coordinator with the Baltimore Ravens, like, you just...
I know Brock Purdy, he's a pretty competitive guy. One time I was playing cards with him, he even got mad because he was losing, so you'll see something like that today.
How mad are we talking?
Really mad. He threw the cards away. Pretty mad.
Are you telling me Brock Purdy's the kind of guy to take his ball and go home?
Not that kind of guy. he stays. He's trying to beat you, but he just get mad.
Purdy is the kind of guy that turns over a Monopoly board. Doesn't sound like the kind of Brock Purdy that we've seen. But he's going to be starting this game in the end zone. We're seeing on the TV screens here the two offensive coordinators of these two teams in Clint and Clay Kubiak, opposite sides of the ball, brothers and sons of Gary Kubiak. As Purdy comes out under centre, McCaffrey right on the A of the Seahawks in the end zone. It goes to McCaffrey to try and buy some space. Does step, gets out to the 10, pushes a man and gets out to about the 13-yard line. Huge pickup on first down, considering how deep they were in their own territory, and that's going to be a 2nd and 2 from the 13-yard line. And Christian McCaffrey is so elusive. It's wonderful to watch.
I knew this play was coming. We do that play every Friday before the team plays.
All right. They're actually going to put it down at the 12 and call it a 2nd and 3. Mark it a yard shorter. Purdy under centre. DeMarcus Robinson lined up on the right-hand side. They're going to give it ball back to McCaffrey. McCaffrey gets out to the 15. Wrestled down right there around the first down marker. As he's brought down, the ball does go backwards slightly, and I wonder if they're going to call it. They do call it a first down. Nick Emenwari, the brilliant rookie safety, in on the tackle. Also in there for the Seahawks, Jared Reed, the nose tackle. But that's a first down, San Francisco, and this is going to have to be one of those long drives where they try and bring things and eke it out and then maybe take the deep shot if it becomes available to them. Purdy didn't throw a single ball over 20 air yards in that game 2 weeks ago, and had 4.9 air yards per attempt, the lowest of his career. Brian Robinson into the game now. Purdy under centre, moves his man in motion, tunges to the right. It's going to be a straight drop back, 7-step drop back. Lots of space for Purdy, lots of time as he throws across his body to an open man out of the 20, 25-30, and it's another first down, San Francisco. Jake Tunges with a 15-yard pickup on 1st and 10 from the 15. And after his fumble earlier, that's a second big pickup for Tunges, a second first down for him, and that's going to be absolutely key if he's going to get this game going.
Again, Tunges hogging this ball because he knows he won't try to lose the ball anymore.
He is a first down machine on 3rd down, but picks that one up on 1st. They're going to call it at the 31-yard line in the end. Purdy in the gun now. Brian Robinson alongside him. Stacked receivers to the right. Robinson and Juwan Jennings. Single receiver to the left. They fake the handoff to Robinson. Under pressure. Over the middle. Tunges again. Out to the 45-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. Another 15, maybe call it 16-yard pickup on that one. And it's another first down to San Francisco. He is no substitute for George Kittle, Jake Tunges. But back-to-back plays where he looked very Kittle-esque.
He's becoming the go-to guy. The first go-to guy was Juwan Jennings, but now Jake Tunges is stepping up and getting the ball 2 times in a row.
Right around midfield. Purdy under centre. They're going to mark it 1st and 10 at the 47. Give it to McCaffrey. Makes a man miss. Steps inside, then outside, and gets about 2 yards on the play. Blown up pretty early doors by this brilliant Seahawks defense. Leonard Williams in on the tackle, and the safeties and just everyone flies to the ball. Like, it's just this mass of blue anytime you try and run the ball at the middle. It's so difficult to figure out who's actually in on any tackle.
You know, I met Leonard Williams like 10 years ago in USC. When he was at USC, I went to a tryout. I met him there.
2nd and 8, ball at the 49-yard line. Purdy in the gun. He's 5 wide. Moves Christian McCaffrey, now moves across the formation. He's available as a check down, and they go to him at the 50. On that left-hand side, out to the 45 of the Seahawks, and it's brought down right around the first down marker. The touch dodge on that side is going to give him the first down. I think that's a slightly generous spot, if I'm going to be honest, Alfredo, but we are a good 40-50 yards from that far sideline, so I'll trust the official, and we're going to call it first down San Francisco at the Seahawks 42. Excellent drive coming here from this team. Just had a big bit of injury news regarding Bo Nix in the Broncos game and a fractured ankle. We'll tell you more about that in the next break of play, because right now the 49ers are moving. Brian Robinson splits out as a wide receiver to the left-hand side. They've got Christian McCaffrey, I think it's Carl Juszczyk in along them inside the backfield, and in fact San Francisco going to take their second timeout of the half. I think there was a little bit of confusion as to how they were lining up. It looked like Brian Robinson wasn't quite lined up in position, and so they'll take a second timeout of the half with 6:03 remaining, down 17-3. So, oh my word, This is huge news in the AFC. Broncos quarterback Bo Nix has suffered a season-ending broken bone in his ankle during overtime today in the victory over Buffalo. It was the second to last play of the game when arguably they could have kicked the field goal earlier. I need to watch it back, but when I was here in the room and getting prepared for our game, I did think to myself, why haven't you kicked the field goal yet? Why are you messing around with position? I nearly called it something else. Why are you messing around with the position on the field? Why are you taking time over this? You're in chip shot range. You're in Denver, where it's the easiest place to kick outdoors in the NFL. And right now, we're going to have the ball at the 42-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks this time out, with Brock Purdy coming out to the huddle to try and get this offense moving. This has been by far their best drive of the game so far. On this possession, they started all the way back on the 5, 6 plays, 53 yards, 4 first downs. They're at the 49-yard line on the last scrimmage. They're now down to the 42-yard line after that 7-yard pickup for Christian McCaffrey, which they very generously gave the first down on. I thought he was about a yard short on that play. And if they're going to have any chance of winning this game of football, having been in a 17-point deficit, they desperately need to score the touchdown here, make it a 7-point game, and try and go in at the half with that at least. If not, try and add to it with a 3 and out. I mean, I know I'm asking a lot from San Francisco here, but what I want is an entertaining game of football, Alfredo. I know, you know, there are rooting interests in this booth, clearly, but what I just want to see is a great game of football. I've flown 9 hours today to come and watch this game, Will Varney. We desperately want to see a great game of football. I can't believe that Bo Nix news. The AFC Championship game is the early game next week. And if you're going between the Texans and the Patriots tomorrow night in New England, boy, that Texans defense against a backup quarterback, I don't care how good Sean Payton is, that could be terrifying. They've got to be desperate that somehow the Patriots pull something off, and maybe with the home field advantage and everything else. Can they win a Super Bowl without Bo Nix though?
There's a couple stories that a backup quarterback goes and win it all.
Right, out come the 49ers then, 42-yard line. Purdy in the gun, 1st and 10 from here. 6:03 remaining, down 14. Brings DeMarcus Robinson in motion, hands the ball off into a jet sweep. It's a little trick play, back to Purdy again, back to Robinson again as they set up a screen on that side, and they're going to pick up maybe a yard on the play on that left-hand side. They tried some trickeration like we saw last week on that bang-bang play, but in the end the ball back to Purdy. Brilliant coverage downfield. This isn't that Eagles defense, that's not a bad defense, but this Seahawks defense put an absolute clamp on what San Francisco were trying, and it's going to be 2nd and 9. All of that flourish for a 1-yard pickup to the 41.
Yeah, you can see how disciplined this defense is.
Unbelievably so. 41-yard line then, San Francisco. Purdy in the gun. Christian McCaffrey alongside him. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It goes to McCaffrey up the middle. Bounces off a man. Wrapped up by Leonard Williams. Picks up maybe 3 on the play. Gets inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. And it just swarming to the ball yet again. Leonard Williams first in on the tackle, but the moment the first person contacts him, everyone else swarms in, and this is a huge 3rd and 6. Now in the regular season, Jake Tonjes was targeted 10 times on 3rd down. He had 7 receptions for 69 yards and 7 first downs. Is he going to be the go-to guy here? He lines up tight to the formation on the left. Pearsall to the right. 2 receivers to the left in Jennings and DeMarcus Robinson. Trent Williams with a brilliant block on the left. Thrown over the middle. It is to Pearsall. Does he bring it in? A brilliant catch at the 23-yard line, and that's a first down to the San Francisco 49ers. He gets 6 yards and he gets the rest of it as well. A 14-yard pickup, and they're down to the 23-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. And Ricky Pearsall, for the first time today, shows just what he's made of with the ball in his hands. Oh, there is a claim that this ball has hit the ground. You can hear the home crowd shouting for it. San Francisco rushing up to the line, but I think this play is going to be reviewed. And I haven't seen the replay myself, but I think it might come back. Pearsall is claiming his arm is under the ball. And John Hussey has come out and said that play is coming back. I initially wondered if he did get it. It's a brilliant route by Pearsall as he comes inside, gets his left arm under the ball. I don't know about that, you know. Ball comes in, his left arm is under it, His hands are under it. Oh, it does. There's movement there. Right at the end of the play.
Control there.
They are going to review it, I think. This appears to be a John Hussey initiated review. We didn't see a red flag from Carl Shanahan on that far right-hand touchline. But the field goal unit is lining up. So after the review, play is confirmed. It's going to be a big field goal from here. A 56-yarder in this cauldron that is Lumen Field. Eddie Pinheiro has been absolutely money this season, but can he be money from this distance? Ball is up, kick is up, and it is good! Sensational kick from Eddie Pinheiro, just sneaking over the bars, and while it remains an 11-point game after that drop from Pearsall, to make this a 11-point game will feel like a win for San Francisco. 4:32 left in the second quarter, 17-6 game, live and exclusive NFL action from here in Lumen Field on talkSPORT. My nose is just absolutely streaming. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back with NFL Live on talkSPORT. I'm Will Gavin, bringing you live and exclusive NFL playoff coverage from here in Lumen Field, Seattle. The divisional round in the NFC, where Seattle burst out into a 17-0 lead in the first quarter. Touchdowns on a 95-yard kickoff return for Rashid Shaheed, a field goal, and then a brilliant touchdown scramble on a scramble drill for Sam Darnold to connect to Jackson Smith-Njigba in the back of the end zone. In 7 games against the 49ers, that's Jackson Smith-Njigba's first touchdown against them. San Francisco have come back with back-to-back drives of field goals, having turned the ball over on downs and a fumble on their first 2 drives of the game. But with 4:32 left in this second quarter, they find themselves down 11 and in desperate need of another stop on defense. The last drive out, they did a very good job. Right, 3 plays, just 8 yards gained after the big Rashid Shaheed return out past the 35. They need another 3 and out here, Alfredo, surely.
You know what, Brock Purdy feels pretty confident in playing here. He's 4-0 playing in Seattle.
Yeah, he is. Right now it feels like he might fall to 4-1, but still a lot of football to be played tonight. Pinheiro with a low bouncing kick all the way out the back of the end zone. We talked about it, didn't we? Rashid Shaheed back there, the huge kickoff return to start the game. Just accept it, make it bounce in the landing zone, and take it from the 35-yard line. It is so tough to do that. You either have to absolutely boom it all the way out of the back of the end zone, or you have to do what Pinheiro did there, which is that kind of grubber kick along the ground, that Aussie rules football style kick. And that's an excellent position for them to start. And in fact, they're going to move the ball all the way back to the 20-yard line here. I'm just looking for confirmation of that was in the landing zone. Touch back to the 20. Was there a penalty? Anyway, they're going to start at the 20. Excellent. Sam Darnold under centre. Let's go from here. 80 yards they're going to have to go for the touchdown now. He sends his fullback in motion, kills the play at the line of scrimmage. Darnold takes the ball. It's a crack toss play to Kenneth Walker. Step up field, gets maybe 4 yards on the play, but he is wrapped up and brought down right on the line of scrimmage. In on the play is Sam O, and that'll be a short gain on what looked like initially he could burst free. 2nd and 7, this will be at the 23-yard line.
Abraham Lucas right there with an excellent block on front.
Sam Okwuonu is one of those players who, natural talent, he might not be a Nick Bosa, he might not even be any of these guys in the Seahawks defense, but man, does he play with an insane amount of effort. I love the guy. Darnold in the gun, 2 backs alongside him, Jackson Smith and Jigba and Kenneth Walker. He kills the play, has Rashid Shaheed to his left, Jake Bobo to the right, suggests running play. It is a running play, gives it to Walker, hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he makes a man miss, out to the 30, nearly to the 30. He stopped right at the 28-yard line. Kenneth Walker, brilliant contact balance there, eventually brought down with Marcus Siegle and Renato Green in on the tackle, and that's going to be 3rd and 2 at the Seattle 28-yard line. And unsurprisingly, the sickle comes out, the hammer goes in, and Zach Charbonnet is into the game, with Keon White coming in for the 49ers. We've not seen a lot from him so far today. Maybe they're expecting a bit of play action, bringing the straight up pass rusher in. Well, in fact, they're playing in the I formation. It's a fullback in Robbie Oots in front of Zach Charbonnet. It's a toss play out to this side. Kendricks is there, Siegle is there, wrapped up a good yard short of the first down. There is a flag at the back of the field, and it's going to be holding against the San Francisco 49ers. In an area of the field that did not affect the play. It's a mistake you cannot make, and that's going to be an automatic first down for Seattle. Although we do have a man down for Seattle on the field this near side. It is Zach Charbonnet who goes down holding his left leg and looks like he is in a lot of trouble right at the 20-yard line, 8-yard line in front of us. Seattle will be delighted to get the first down from the penalty, but he's down in the field of play, and they're just confirming the hold on that play. John Hussey hustling up his team. It's going against Demo Lenore. We'll wait and see the replay on it. It's frustrating, right? Because in that situation, it's just not going to affect it. They're going to say it's in the centre. They're going to say it's 92. Jordan Elliott spinning around the centre, Jalen Sundell. I mean, it doesn't affect the play in any way, shape or form. I totally understand why you have to throw the flag. But we saw last week in Philadelphia that the referees very much played to the let them play motto that we often see in the playoffs. And this is a referee in John Hussey who has had the 5 fewest flags in the NFL this season, 13.7 flags per game. San Francisco had the 2nd lowest number of flags in the NFL this season. Seattle have the 8th lowest. So this should be a very clean game of football. And right now the 49ers have handed Seattle a first down at the 34. Zach Charbonnet is up onto his feet. He is being walked to the
blue tent.
It's straight to the blue tent indeed. He did get up and he is walking under his own volition, although with 2 trainers either side of him. That left knee clearly causing him some issues, but it's a positive situation when you consider it's right around the edge of the field that we saw George Kittle go down last week. That maybe this isn't something along the lines of an ACL, maybe it's a PCL, maybe it's just a pulled ligament, whatever it might be. It looks a little less serious than initially thought, which is good news for Seattle.
You never know now, because even if he stands up and walks, after a few minutes, they said rule out injury of ACL, PCL, some sort of injury.
There was also on that play, Dee Winters connected helmet to helmet with Zach Charbonnet as well. Ollie Hunter back in the studio flagging that to us. Question of could it also be potentially that's flagged as well, but he's definitely gone off limping and holding that left knee, so maybe they're checking for concussion in the blue tent at the same time, if that's been called by the independent adjudicator in the stadium. But certainly it's the left knee that seemed to be troubling him as he was going off the field.
You know what I see? I see that this defense, 49ers defense, they're stopping this Seattle's offense, but when they have a big play, they do have a big play, like 8+ and 5+ yards, and that's affecting a lot of this way of playing of this 49ers defense.
Kenneth Walker had a massive 97-yard game against this 49ers team 2 weeks ago, but more importantly than the 97 yards, which took him above 1,000 for the season, was those 4 carries of 10+ yards, those explosive plays which just absolutely put Seattle on his back and really killed this 49ers defense.
Yeah,
they've avoided those for the most part today, right? There's that Zach Charbonnet 15-yarder, but Kenneth Walker hasn't gone over 5 yards on a play so far. We're just seeing that possible contact from D. Winters. Doesn't look pretty innocuous, but the knee definitely looked like it was an issue. As we wait for John Hussey to get us back underway, Sam Darnold breaks the huddle. 1st and 10 at their own 34. 2:48 remaining. 2 timeouts for Seattle, 1 for San Francisco. Darnold comes out under centre. Bunch receivers to his right. Single receiver and Raheem Shaheed to the left. It goes on a toss play to Shaheed. Round the outside. He's got so much space out there. Blockers out in front of him. Out to the 50. 45-40. Down at the 36-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. They fake the ball to Kenneth Walker. And on the end around, Rashid Shaheed with blockers out in front of him takes the ball all the way down into San Francisco territory. Goes from the 34 to the 36. He flips the field, and that's a huge chunk running play after we've just said how good San Francisco have been at stopping huge chunk running plays. 30 yards for Shaheed.
Great Sabel, man. He was running down the field, still blocking Mustafa all the way. That's why you're saying that he's having a great year.
Gray Zabel, taken 25th overall by the Seattle Seahawks team, is a player who it was speculated maybe the 49ers would consider moving back into the first round to get.
I thought they were going to...
He fits that Shanahan system so well with what he does, but they're going to have to go up against him time and time again in the division, and you get these guards who... these impact players on the interior who are so movable, who are so good at getting downfield, who are like... Alfredo, I say this to a man stood next to me who is an absolute unit of a man, but incredibly athletic. To be a Gray Zabel and to be as athletic as he is, as we hit the 2-minute warning, by the way, that's why we've got a timeout here. To be as athletic as he is, to get into open space and does what he does, when you consider he's 6'6" and weighs 316 pounds, that's big for a guard. And yet the speed that he showed downfield there against Malik Mustafa was unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty fast, 300 pounds.
What was your 40 time, Alfredo?
Well, believe it or not, I was 345 pounds and I ran 497.
Wow! A sub 5 at that size is unbelievable.
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I didn't even know how I did that fast.
I refuse to tell you my 40 time because we did it at the Super Bowl experience a couple of years ago. And I ran the 40 about as quick as Linford Christie runs 100 metres. It was embarrassingly slow.
You know what? I did track in high school just for shot put and discus. But
all right, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But you practice.
I can imagine you hammer throwing as well. That works. If people aren't watching on the stream, by the way, you can find it on talkSPORT YouTube channel and on the talkSPORT USA YouTube channel. You will see what an imposing and huge man he is. So when he said he ran track, I thought
no run track, but they teach you that, like during the summer or before the track meet starts, they teach you how to run, how to move your hands, lift your feet, and that actually helped me a lot. I even did dancing school to control my feet.
Will Varney is with us as well, back in the booth. Will, from the perspective here, right, 2-minute warning, 49ers down 11. If they can hold the Seahawks to a field goal after that big run play, they get the ball back to start the second half. Is there any part of you that still believes?
Right. Ominous.
The that spoke 1,000 words there from Will Varney.
Look, the fact that they're staying alive right now, I think, is really interesting. This is a team that, look, just a couple of field goals on their name, 6 points, but still just 11 points down. If they can hold the Seahawks here, go into halftime, still have something to play for, look, who's to say no?
Darnold breaks the huddle. He's going to be under centre, starting at the 36-yard line of the 49ers. 2-minute warning, 1st and 10 with 2 timeouts. Sends his fullback from right to left and then kills the play and brings him back in the offset eye. Kenneth Walker in the backfield. Zach Charbonnet still in the blue tent. Darnold under some pressure, forced to roll out to the right hand side. Finds Robbie Oots and is absolutely blasted by D. Winters as he makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage. I think they might call that, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 Seattle, but that play was blown up quickly by the 49ers pass rush, and then D. Winters just, in fact, Robbie Oots wasn't able to hold on to it. They called it incomplete. Wow. The speed that he moved at then was unbelievable. Robbie Oots is a big fella and he got absolutely blasted out of his boots there. Darnold in the gun, 2nd and 10 then from the 36. 4 down lineman for the 49ers. Jackson Smith in Jigba moves into the backfield. Kenneth Walker to the left. It's Jackson Sidling-Jigba to the right. Rashid Shaheed lines up opposite Renato Green on the right-hand side. That's where Darnold's going to look over the middle. It's a dangerous throw. D. Winter's got a hand to it. He was looking for Shaheed on the in-breaker, and it falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 from the 36. Went for it all on that play, and Darnold, considering that oblique injury, trying to keep the defense honest, I guess.
Back-to-back plays from D. Winters. He was injured, actually. He was questionable to play this week.
Huge player to return, and if they're somehow to get past this, they could get their week 1 starters back in both Fred Warner and D. Winters next week. Eric Kendricks is up at the line of scrimmage, as is D. Winters. They've mugged up to the A-gap. This is exactly the look they showed against Philadelphia on the 3rd and 10. But this time they bring the blitz. Pressure over the middle, and they find Jake Bobo. Bobo to the 25, down to the 21-yard line. This stadium erupts as the Seahawks pick up a first down and sit just a yard outside the red zone. They read that blitz brilliantly. Darnold replaced the blitz, got the ball out quickly, and Jake Bobo, with his first catch of the night, gets a first down for Seattle, and they're going to call it at the 20.
These offensive was like one bad play, bad throw, and then all of a sudden they come with a big explosive play.
So a 3rd and 10 completion, 15 yards on it, gets them down 16, in fact, to the 20-yard line. Darnold comes out in the centre, Kenneth Walker in behind him. San Francisco in a base defense look. Hand the ball to Walker, he cuts back to the left-hand side, makes a man miss, brought down by Marcus Seagley, but gets down just to the 10-yard line, and they're going to call it a first down. He might be about a yard short, 9 yards on that pickup. Will they indicate first down? I think they're going to say it's about a half a yard short. 54 seconds remaining, no timeouts taken. 2 timeouts they have, one for the 49ers, 50 seconds. Darnold comes out under centre, Walker in the backfield behind him, 2 receivers to the right. He sends Eric Sauber in motion to the tight side of the formation, gives it to Walker, cuts upside, first down Seahawks, down to the 6-yard line, and they'll have first and goal from the 6, and Mike McDonald sprints down to the touch judge on this side and takes his second time out of the half.
Somebody's injured over there.
Does look like somebody is down on the play, so whether that timeout would have been taken
his shoulder
for the 49ers anyway. Hobbling out on that far side, trying to figure out exactly who it is going straight.
I think it's
to
Alfred Collins.
Rookie Alfred Collins, who made a huge play against the Seahawks last week, getting a sack, and overall has had an excellent rookie season on the interior, considering how many injuries they've had. 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries for him this year, and he is going straight to the blue tent on that far side. We've seen the Zach Charbonnet injury again. He's gone back to the locker room down to our far right hand side. What were you going to say? Sorry, Alfredo.
Just want to ask Barney if he knows Kenneth Walker 40 time.
I wouldn't even want to guess what his 40 time is.
Incredibly fast.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog, I imagine.
You can see him on the field.
You find out while we call this play. Sam Darnold under centre at the 6-yard line, first and goal, 36 seconds remaining. He's got a tight line on the right hand side. It goes to Walker, cuts back to the left, huge amounts of space on that side. He's hit at the 4, but he gets into the end zone, strolling back. Less of a Walker, more of a stroll into the end zone. And the Seattle Seahawks take a commanding lead just before the half here at Lumen Field. That could be game, set and match. 23-6 with 31 seconds remaining in this second half.
We're seeing Kenneth Walker right there exploding outside. Pick him up to the right side first. He sees the cutback lane and take it all the way. You see the speed. Take Siegel out.
Renato Green and Marcus Siegel on that side, but it's an overcommittal from, I think, possibly Kalia Davis on the initial run, convinced he's going to run zone to the outside. He takes the cutback, the extra point is up, and the extra point is good for Jason Myers. And with 31 seconds left on the half, suddenly we go from a 49ers team scrapping their way back into this game to an 18-point advantage for the Seattle Seahawks. 1 timeout remaining, 31 seconds. Can the 49ers put any points on the board with what time they have left?
Alfredo, your wish is my command. You asked me what was that 40 time. 4.38 for Kenneth Walker, who, like we saw, Zach Charbonnet going out of this game, questionable to return, but with Kenneth Walker in the lineup, he just gets it done. And right now they are just running on the 49ers, and this is the concern for San Francisco. You want to force Sam Darnold to play quarterback, but you have to watch that run game. And you've been calling out the screen game all day, Alfredo.
Sorry, can we just acknowledge as well, they had them for a 3 and out. They were short of the line of gain, and there was a hold in the middle of the field which extended the drive. Yes, on the Charbonnet injury, which will be the focus of that play, but then Kenneth Walker puts the team on his back and scores what will be the easiest touchdown in these playoffs, potentially. He was barely touched going into the end zone. Right, the Seahawks will kick off. 31 seconds remaining. A timeout for each team as Myers kicks a high looping one around the 10-yard line, fielded by Sky Moore. He's going to come inside the numbers, 25 to the 30, and wrapped up at the 30-yard line. Brought down by Mike Morris. Huge play by the defensive ends, and you can see how much this Seahawks team is feeling themselves as they head into the end zone to our far left-hand side, geeing up the crowd in the Hawks' nest and feeling themselves as the 49ers will start with the ball at the 30, inside 30 seconds left on the clock. They do have one timeout. We've already seen Eddie Pinheiro kick a 56-yarder in this half. Do they try and go for a big play on first down here and see if they can get... Listen to that noise, listen to that sound from the Seattle crowd. 28 seconds. One timeout, Purdy in the gun, stomps his foot, gets the ball, it will be a straight drop back. Right hand side of the line collapses, Purdy has to step up, tries to find McCaffrey over the middle and throws it incomplete at his feet around the 40. Brilliant pressure off the right hand side of that line by this just swarming Seahawks defence. Boye Mafe in on that one, and whilst Purdy did well to step up in the pocket, there was just nothing for him downfield.
Yeah,
McCaffrey coming off, possibly just looking like he's limping ever so slightly as he comes off the field. Doesn't look serious, just a little bit of a knock maybe, but he comes out of the game for this play, and Brian Robinson comes in. Purdy in the gun, Robinson alongside him, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, a tight end in line, stays in to block, he is under pressure again. Purdy's forced to scramble, out to the 30, 35, down to the 40, has a first down, 45 down to the 49-yard line of the Seahawks. Huge play from Brock Purdy there, and San Francisco will call that remaining timeout with 13 seconds remaining as Purdy gives them a chance with a 19-yard scramble almost to midfield.
It's something that he's been able to do all season long, Brock Purdy, using his legs, giving the 49ers a chance, able to step up there, he's able to move, but like you said, Will, and you've been saying all first half, swarming, that is exactly what this defense does. The talent, the athleticism, it is clear when you see it in person as well. This is a unit all working as one, and it just is testament to the job that Mike McDonald continues to do with this team.
And look, not unlike the Eagles game last week, key moment there is that Ernest Jones took him down in bounds. Just like the end of that half last week, that forces them to take the time out, and with 13 seconds remaining, realistically they want to get 15 to 20 yards with 13 seconds, and they need to be able to use the sides of the field, and it's going to be a Seahawks timeout. It was a bunch formation to the left with Jennings, I believe it's Kendrick Bourne coming into the game, and Demarcus Robinson, so Juwan Jennings, Demarcus Robinson and Bourne on that left-hand side. Pearsall in isolation on the right. Single running back in the backfield was Brian Robinson, and the Seahawks waited to see what the formation was, see if they could get a bit of an indication of what the 49ers play would be, and with 13 seconds remaining, they take their final time out of the half.
Shanahan jokes with Purdy about his legs. He told him mini Bosa because Kyle Shanahan says that they have the same legs, big quads, and they call him on meetings, hey, Mini Bosa. So
Mini Bosa,
he's had to use them all game, hasn't he?
Mini Bosa indeed. We could do with him a pass rush if he is a Mini Bosa. Brendel comes out under centre. They do remain with the trips receivers to the left and Pearsall single to the right. Jake Tungis alongside the line on the right hand side. Purdy takes it, 5-step drop back, looking to the left, has to throw the ball away, going to Tungis. Is that going to be intercepted? No, he's going to be out of bounds. It is caught by the Seahawks defender, but it's essentially a throwaway. Takes 6 seconds off the clock, and with 7 seconds remaining, a chance to take the ball away for Devon Witherspoon, but Purdy throws the ball away, and it will remain 2nd and 10 around about the 46-yard line, 47.
You want to get to the 35 to have a good field goal range, but I know Eddie Dinero can make it for the 40.
It's the 48-yard line. Brendel comes out, puts a hand on the ball. Robinson alongside Purdy in the backfield. They're showing pressure off this left-hand side from Uchenna Nwosu, who's roaming across the formation. They are basically going for a Hail Mary here. Purdy throws, looking for the end zone. Ball is up in the air, and it's nearly brought down by Jake Tunges, but batted to the ground, and that is how the half will end. Nick Emmanwori with the seatbelt celebration. Devon Witherspoon in there as well, and as the sidelines empty and head back to the locker room, what a first half performance from the Seattle Seahawks. Just sensational stuff from literally moment one as the opening kickoff goes for a just huge 95-yard kickoff return. Then Jason Myers with a 31-yard field goal after the 49ers turned the ball over on downs just inside Seahawks territory. The Jake Tunges fumble is turned into a 4-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold on the scramble play to Jackson Smith-Njigba, and in a 17-0 hole, the 49ers looked out of this game. 2 long field goal drives kept them in it, but at the end of the game, end of the half, Kenneth Walker off the left end for 7 yards might have put this one to bed. 24-6, the Seattle Seahawks lead at halftime, an 18-point lead. And if there's going to be a comeback here for the 49ers, they get the ball to start the second half, they're going to have to score quick, Will Varney.
There is plenty of work for San Francisco to do. Right now, the 49ers are in a hole and they need to dig themselves out. The Seahawks lead the 49ers at halftime, 24-6. The victor of this game heads to the NFC Championship. I'm alongside our co-commentator Alfredo Gutierrez, the former 49er. Before we focus on what San Francisco needs to do in the second half to turn over this deficit, let's start by assessing it from a Seahawks perspective. Best possible start, 95-yard touchdown return from the kickoff for Rashid Shaheed. He comes into this team, they trade for him, they bring him in for special moments like that. But just tell me, how impressed have you been with what the Seahawks have been able to do in that first half?
Pretty impressed. This defense is playing really tough, really physical, and you see it through the NFL, but this seems totally different because you see the gap. The gaps are open, but you see how this defense closes this gap really fast. They're playing coverage. Their coverage is playing pretty well too. It's discipline. You don't see that anymore. Like you find a way to put yards on defenses, but these defenses become pretty difficult to pass and rush the ball.
And look, we spoke about the Seahawks defense and what they're able to do. The offense, there was a lot of focus in that first half because of Sam Darnold. Talk about his injury and what he's going to be like coming into this game with that oblique. Looks okay, hasn't been put under too much pressure. Malik Mustafa got a sack on him early in the first quarter, but right now he's playing okay, and it's all about the 49ers. Can they put pressure on this offense? Can they stop the run? What do you think is crucial for the 49ers come the second half? When they're in that locker room right now, what does the message need to be if they're to get back into this game?
We have to stop Kenneth Walker. I mean, that's the communication I'm going to tell my players if I were with the 49ers. You have to stop the run, be able to make them a 3rd and long or 2nd and long, but having a tackle for loss or something, because you need to force Sam Darnold to throw this ball. He's injured. He has an oblique injury. He can't throw well to his right side. We'll see him. Will Gavin, he saw him before the game throwing. So I would recommend to really stop this run game and focus on trying to Sam Darnold to throw the ball.
Plenty of work for the 49ers to do right here at Lumen Field. As it stands, they will not be playing at a home Super Bowl in just 3 weeks' time. Super Bowl 60 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. talkSPORT will be there live on the ground, bringing you the call. But right now, the Seattle Seahawks put them in a fantastic position. If it stays like this, they will be just 1 game away from the sport's biggest spectacle. The second half to come live here from Lumen Field with myself, Will Varney, Will Gavin on the play-by-play alongside the former 49er Alfredo Gutierrez. You might hear some noise, a bit of commotion in the background. That's because we've got a halftime show luckily here at Lumen Field. The cheerleaders out on the field because we have a halftime show with the Grammy Award-winning DJ, producer, rapper Lil Jon. He's actually been in a Super Bowl we were at. Lil Jon turned down for what? Get Low, you might be aware of it. He appeared alongside Usher just 2 years ago at Super Bowl 58 in Vegas, and he is getting the crowd lively right now. To be honest, they're already having fun, plenty of fun. They lead the 49ers 24 points to 6 at the half. We'll be back shortly after this break on talkSPORT, where we'll bring you some big news from elsewhere in the NFL. Will mentioned it earlier on, what's happened to the Denver Broncos, all of the drama after their big win against the Buffalo Bills, and a new head coach heading to Atlanta. We'll get stuck into that next here, live on talkSPORT. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, sweet, man. You're clear now, man. Great stuff. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, sweet. What I'll do, mate, when we come out of the break, I'll do the comp read. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so mate, I'll do the comp read out of the break if that's cool. The Super Bowl one, yeah, we need to do it twice, right? Oh, is it? Okay, fine, yeah. All right, sweet. Will wants to do it once more if that works with you. Okay, come out the break with the in-stab, please. Yeah, the stab in. Come out the break straight with that, please, mate. All right, man. Welcome back to Lumen Field, where at the half right now, the Seahawks lead the 49ers 24 points to 6 as it stands. The Seahawks heading to the NFC Championship game and would be just one game away from the Super Bowl. It is fast approaching. talkSPORT, by the way, giving you and the mate a chance to be there live in person. Just until Thursday left to enter. You could win tickets to the Super Bowl on Sunday, 8th of February. Return flights to San Francisco, 3 nights accommodation, spending money as well. In a few weeks, you can be ticking off the Super Bowl, exploring San Francisco. I was just doing that this week. I can highly recommend it. It sounds pretty good, right? Well, here is how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN, W-I-N, to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close on Thursday this week at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, Text WIN, W-I-N, to 83338 now. Well, live here at Lumen Field, the lights back on and the team's heading back out onto the sidelines. I wonder what the messaging has been from Kyle Shanahan to his team, as the 49ers have plenty of work to do. Just some news coming in from the NFL over the last couple of hours. You heard Will mention it earlier on. Goodness me, what drama in that game between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. The Denver Broncos booking their spot in the AFC Championship, but head coach Sean Payton announcing in the last hour or so that quarterback Bo Nix fractured a bone in his ankle on the second to last play of that game, and therefore will miss the rest of the season. Jarrett Stidham is the current backup for the Denver Broncos. Just a terrible situation for Broncos fans, for Bo Nix, and goodness me, they will be either facing the Houston Texans or the New England Patriots. That game is tomorrow, and both teams will be licking their lips at the prospects right now, heightened prospects of featuring in Super Bowl 60. Also, some other big news coming in the last few minutes, or a fascinating coaching cycle, it has to be said right now. John Harbaugh signing a deal, a 5-year deal with the New York Giants today to be their new head coach, and in the last few moments it's been announced the Atlanta Falcons are finalizing a deal to hire Kevin Stefanski, the former Cleveland Browns head coach, as their new man in charge. He's a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year. He flew to Atlanta today, and he will now stay on to look to take over the Atlanta Falcons and take them potentially into the playoffs next year. One team, or two teams should I say, currently featuring the playoffs are the pair we are watching in front of us live at Lumen Field, the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The problem, time is running out for one of these sides in the 2026 playoffs. Goodness me, work to do for the 49ers as they huddle on the sideline straight ahead of us. And it has to be said, there must have been a serious talking to from Kyle Shanahan alongside on play-by-play for us, Mr. Will Gavin. Will, I asked Alfredo at the half, what does Kyle Shanahan need to do to get this team reinvigorated, really, back in this? There's still a game to be played. I know there's a big deficit, 24 points to 6. What do you think that needs to be changed by the 49ers if they're going to get something out of this game?
The big problem so far has been mistakes. It's been sloppiness. It's been particularly defensively. You look at the pass interference play, which extended that drive when they could have held them to a field goal. Marcus Sigley, now they get to getting pressure on Sam Darnold. They have done it time and time again, actually, in this half. Like, surprising amount of pressure, surprising collapsing of the pocket, considering what this pass rush has been this season. But Darnold, hit as he throws in that situation, he throws an absolute wobbler. It's about 2 yards short. And what I think it's Smith and Jigba does, if I remember correctly, although when you're calling the game,
of course,
you do lose a little bit of that. I think it's Smith and Jigba. What he does absolutely sensationally is he sees the ball's going short, he knows Sigley's over his shoulder, and he stops. And he lets Sigley run into the back of him, and you get a pass interference play. It's brilliant wide receiver play from a guy who's just in his second year in the NFL. And then you have the opportunity to stop them with 4 minutes left on the clock, on a 3 and out, get the ball back, make it into a one-score game, and you stop them, and you get a holding call on the defensive lineman away from the play. Like, just didn't need to happen. He did not need to spin the centre round. Walker is running off the left tackle. It's not affecting the play in any way, shape or form. It's a correct call to make the call. I'm not saying they shouldn't have made the call. What I'm saying is that's a mistake you just can't make if you're this San Francisco 49ers team. Everything has to be perfect in this second half, and that's going to be very, very tough to achieve. As we get ready to get underway in the second half, we see DeMarcus Lawrence. There is a lot of talk about Christian McCaffrey. He ran into and potentially got hurt on his shoulder on a play up against DeMarcus Lawrence when he stayed in to block. And we'll wait and see if he comes out to play the second half, or whether the injury issues on this 49ers team continue, and it's Brian Robinson who comes out. John Hussey blows the whistle, gets ready to get us underway. Jason Myers steps up to kick the ball back for the 49ers. It's going to be Brian Robinson, brings it out from the 2, out to the 10, stays on the numbers, 20, down to the 25. He's hit right around there, gets maybe to the 27-yard line, where he's brought down by the Seahawks, gang tackled by 3 players right around there. It's Mike Morris, who made a brilliant special teams play earlier in the game as well. And I'll tell you what, I'm Will Gavin, alongside me, the former offensive tackle of the 49ers, a man who went through the International Player Pathway Programme, knows Brock Purdy incredibly well as his former roommate. Told us he threw his toys out of the pram in a game of cards earlier in the half. That's what I'm telling you, at least. And they're going to be starting here from the 28-yard line. Purdy comes out under centre. Juszczyk, and it is Brian Robinson coming in to start this half. It's a crack toss to Robinson. A flag comes in on the play as well. He gets maybe a yard on that one, but we'll have to see what the call is on the right-hand side of the line here. It's in the area of offensive holding, not the way you start a half where I said you need to play things basically perfectly.
Wasn't there about in Jawan Jennings?
They're saying no foul on the play, second down, by the way. Go ahead.
No. It was weird because he threw it like on Seattle Seahawks sideline, and I saw nothing.
All right, 2nd and 9 then. They're going to call it right from about the 29-yard line. A yard on first down as Purdy in the gun, 5 wide, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, and a tight end tight formation on that left-hand side. It's faked to Robinson on a jet sweep. Purdy with lots of time in the pocket, forced to scramble out to his right and throw the ball away. He had time, but the coverage downfield was sensational. Eventually, under pressure from Byron Murphy, has to throw the ball away, and it's a 3rd and 9 early in this half, just 38 seconds gone in the quarter.
The protection was there, just the gap or the zone wasn't. It wasn't not communication between Brock Purdy and his receivers now.
So Purdy breaks the huddle. Huge down in the half even this early in the game. Robinson in alongside him. 2 receivers to the right, DeMarcus Robinson and Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings in a little orbit motion goes back. Now he's out on the left-hand side. Purdy, 3-step, 5-step drop back. He's under pressure, has to roll out to his left, turns back to defence, throws the ball downfield, looking for Jawan Jennings, and Jennings brings it in at the 42-yard line, steps upfield and out of bounds at the 45, a 15, maybe 17 even yard pickup for Jawan Jennings, and 3rd and Jawan gives the San Francisco 49ers their first down of the half.
This is what makes Brock Purdy special. He finds a way to get an extra play, throw it, and Jawan Jennings catching in traffic. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's a brilliant scramble drill. Both DeMarcus Robinson and Jawan Jennings found a way to make themselves available downfield, and it's a first down at the 48 for the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk going in formation from the right to the left. It's a heavy set on the open side of the formation. They fake the handoff to Robinson. He's under pressure again. 2 Seahawks closing down Purdy. He's forced to roll out all the way to the 30 and then throw the ball away right around the sticks on this right-hand side. Jordan James in the area, so it won't go as grounding, and he's well outside the tackle box as well. But coming to the ball, Jaron Reed, the big nose tackle, chasing him all the way down, and Leonard Williams also in the play as Jake Tungus goes off the field limping. He was making a play downfield, and that's a non-contact calf injury for Jake Tungus. Can they get absolutely any breaks, this 49ers team? 2nd and 10 then from the 48. Luke Farrell comes into the game. Kyle Juszczyk in as well, goes from left to right, 21 personnel as it's a fake and a handoff to Brian Robinson, makes a man miss, gets up to the 45-yard line, and Seattle Seahawks lovely pickup of 7 yards on that second down. That'll be 3rd and 3 in Seattle territory at the 45, and boys, I think we're looking at 4 down territory if you're anything inside 5 yards right now for the San Francisco 49ers, down 18. It looked like
Jordan James there.
Jordan James was going to come out of the game, then was sent back in, then came out again. So Luke Farrell is into the game. Jennings to the left-hand side, to the right, Robinson and Pearsall. Brian Robinson in the backfield alongside Purdy, who is in the gun. Hands it off to Robinson. Robinson rumbles up the middle, picks maybe a yard up on the play, but that's going to be a stoppage, and they're going to have a 4th and 2 at the 44. That play screams to me they knew they had 2 downs. But what's going to be the call on 4th and 2? Kyle Shanahan, this is a moment where you need to prove that that bag of tricks you've got can beat Mike McDonald, the man brought into this division to stop the San Francisco 49ers, to stop the Los Angeles Rams. He's seen as the McVay and Shanahan killer, and it's 4th and 2 at the 45. Purdy in the gun, Brian Robinson alongside him. He brings Pearsall back in line. DeMarcus Robinson on the outside. Straight drop back for Purdy. He's under pressure and he's brought down at the 40-yard line. Leonard Williams with a brilliant breaking through of the line. And on a 4th and 2, it's an 8-yard sack for Brock Purdy. And that might be the game killer. Leonard Williams with his 8th sack of the season.
Man, absolutely animal right there. Leonard Williams, he has a stunt. He pushes McKivitz and has this timing on the guard. The guard and Dominic Pooney and Colton McKinnon had to communicate the stunt on time. They didn't, and you have Leonard Williams right there with a big sack.
Absolutely huge, and the Seahawks offense immediately come out into the field. The defense out there as well. I'm not sure if we have gone into a TV timeout then. I mean, I said this had to be a perfect half. They actually call it a 14-yard sack. I always struggle when it's around the 50-yard line to get the numbers right. 14-yard sack for Brock Purdy, and Leonard Williams breaking through that line, Will Varney, just barreling down on him like a freight train.
It is everything this defense is and what we predicted this season, the growth of this unit entirely. I love the penetration that they get up front on that defensive front. It's the physicality of the defensive backs which make it so difficult for Brock Purdy when he's looking downfield, and ultimately there, Leonard Williams, who has had a stellar campaign, is once again able to make a big play in a big spot. And right now you just get the sense with this stadium, just looking around, a lot of blue, a lot of lime green, those free pom-poms they've been handing out to fans starting to swirl in the air a little bit more. It feels like there's a jig in the step of Seahawks fans in this stadium. They're starting to believe not only are they on their way to the NFC Championship, but they can be a genuine contender when it comes to winning the big game in Santa Clara in 3 weeks' time.
It's interesting talking to Seattle fans around the city, and even talking to a member of staff who I shall not name here in the building. The feeling going into this week from the Seahawks, after Jawan Jennings said they're the team we want, after the 49ers wanted to come and prove themselves, was we are too much for this 49ers side. It doesn't matter about them being banged up. We're going to swarm them. We're going to beat them at their own game. And honestly, I was told pretty clearly that their concern was having to face the Rams next week. That they almost weren't worried about this game. And it's harsh on the 49ers in terms of what they've achieved this year, to get to 12 wins, to win in Philly last weekend, with everything that they have gone through. Kyle Shanahan's coaching job has been absolutely unbelievable. And actually Robert Saleh the last 2 weeks has thrown so many more wrinkles in as well. But you just get to a point where there is too much for you, and there's too much quality on the other side, and that's what the Seahawks have shown today as Kenneth Walker comes out alongside Sam Darnold and Robbie Oots on his left-hand side. Jackson Smith-Njigba goes from left to right. Ball goes into Kenneth Walker's gut, and there's a big holding call potentially right around that line. I do not understand there how Cleveland Ferrell has not had a holding call called for him up against Charles Cross, the left tackle. It's right around the area of play, and instead it's going to be a 7-yard pickup down to the 35-yard line. Seahawks 2nd and 3. That is astonishing. I'm honest. I'm sorry. I know, like, this whole week I've been telling people, because I'm a 49ers fan, I know that, and I'll get that out there, but I've been telling people all week I am unbiased in my commentary. I do everything I can to make sure I'm not. I promise you that's not unbiased. That's a missed call. Darnold comes out under centre on this 2nd and 3 then from the 35, stomps his foot. They're going to have to get a turnover here, the 49ers. AJ Barner goes in line on the left-hand side. Darnold looks to that side, goes over the middle. Dimmer Lenore in coverage, but finds his man, and it's Cooper Kupp out past the 25-yard line for a 10-yard pickup and a first down to the Seattle Seahawks, down to the 24.
Also great protection up front, throwing this pass to the middle. That was a dangerous pass, man.
That's a really good pass with Samo. Hand up in his face, gets it past his outstretched arm. That is Sam Darnold at his very best. And we haven't seen him at his very best in the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season. He got that oblique injury this week, but that was an excellent throw. They mark it down at the 24. 4 down linemen for the 49ers. Bit of trickeration, but they give it to Kenneth Walker. Into the gut, off the right-hand side. Makes a man miss, down to the 16-yard line. And it's a touchdown saving tackle from Malik Mustafa out on the far side, instead holding him to an 8-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 16.
If the 49ers don't stop the run, Kenneth Walker is going to score maybe 2 more if they don't stop him.
And just remember, there's no Zach Charbonnet right now. He went out of the game questionable earlier on. It is all on Kenneth Walker's shoulders, and right now he's making the 49ers pay.
16-yard line then, 2nd and 2 from here. Come out with Darnold in the gun. He's got Robbie Oots and Kenneth Walker in behind him. brings Cooper Kupp in line on the open side of the formation, gives it to Walker, one cut back, very similar to the play on the touchdown. D. Winters instead hits him right around the line of scrimmage, and he goes down and he picks up the first down to the 14. 1st and 10 Seattle, and right now they are just stuffing the ball down the throat of the San Francisco 49ers and saying, yum yum, eat a bit.
Kubiak is running pretty well. He's sending these runs, and they're working so far. I would recommend to keep them running, bleed the clock.
Clint Kubiak, an offensive assistant under Kyle Shanahan for so long, alongside his brother Clay, now the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks. Darnold comes out under centre, sends Rashid Shaheed from right to left. He's going to drop back, he's going to throw, and he's going to be sacked right around the 22-yard line. It doesn't feel like there's a lot left in this game for the 49ers, but a big moment for that defensive line as Kalia Davis breaks through and brings down Sam Darnold for the sack. Alfred Collins back into the game as well. Brilliant penetration up front against the centre, and Kalia Davis sacks him for a big loss on that first down.
That was C.J. West, rookie from Indiana. Great penetration from the middle.
They call it an 8-yard sack back to the San Francisco 22. It was C.J. West. Great call, Alfredo Gutierrez. So ball is at the 22 now, 2nd and 18. Darnold in the gun, sends Kenneth Walker from his left to his right-hand side. Play clock right down to 1 second. Darnold hands the ball to Walker off the right-hand side, and he's eventually pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Demo Lenore is out there, D. Winters as well, and Lenore and Walker get in each other's face at the end, and John Hussey just gets in there and says, enough of that, boys. Let's break this one up and give you a 3rd down.
You gotta be smart. Another penalty will definitely kill this defense.
3rd and 13 then. They did manage to pick up about 5 yards on that play. A touchdown here definitely kills this game. A field goal, it's a 3-touchdown game. It feels pretty dead, but what can San Francisco do on offense? Jackson Smith and Jigba and Eric Sorber swap sides of the formation. It's 5 wide with Darnold in the gun. Pressure early doors. D. Winters in his face. Finds a man over the middle. It is Jackson Smith and Jigba. Gets down to the 5-yard line. Tackled there and brought down a yard short of the line to gain. Brilliant blitz replacement yet again from Sam Darnold. Saw the blitz coming. Found his man over the middle on a quick pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba. And they're going to send out the field goal unit on 4th and 2 from the 6. I like them killing the game here. I like them saying, Brock Purdy, you drive 94 yards. And kind of get, sorry, hold on, you're the man who takes the points every time, Alfredo. Why are you agreeing with me now?
No, I agree with you. You have to go for it and try to kill this momentum. I mean, you have momentum right now. You're moving forward. Kill this defense and take some points.
So it's a short field goal, 24-yarder. Kick is up and kick is good. Jason Myers with his 3rd kick of the day makes it a 27-6 game with 7:07 left in the 3rd quarter. The Brock Purdy-led San Francisco 49ers will be back out for a drive up next here on the talkSPORT.
That's it.
Thank you, pal. Happy with everything? Why is Stuart hating it? Tell him he's a prick. Oh, mate. This has been absolutely brutal. That's it. Keep telling me I'm amazing.
You are.
Should we do an Aussie Open update? Ferry's won. I can't hear it, so you're going to have to cue me. And it's with TNT, isn't it? Did you post it in the group or send it to me directly? No credit out, yeah? Thank you, Stuart. And it's time for an Aussie Open update with TNT Sports. And Arthur Ferry, the British player, gets through the first round at the John Cain Arena. His highest ranking is the world number 185, and yet he's knocked out the 20th seed Flavio Caboli 7-6, 6-4, 6-1 in straight sets. Cameron Norrie up shortly. Here we'll give you updates on talkSPORT. That's the latest from the Aussie Open with TNT Sports. And you're here live with NFL Live on talkSPORT. I'm Will Gavin, Alfredo Gutierrez alongside me, the former 49ers offensive tackle, the brilliant Will Varney as well, who spent this week in Santa Clara getting fantastic interviews, doing brilliant work. You should check out the excellent piece he's written for talksport.com. It is well worth your time. San Francisco down 27-6 here in Seattle. 7:07 left in the third quarter as they field this kickoff. Brian Robinson around the 10. He brings it out, cuts inside to the 20, 25 to the 30. Tackled at the 31-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers, and that's where they'll start this next drive. So look, I feel like I've asked this question time and time again. Just the 6 points on offense in this game. They've had a turnover on downs. They've had the turnover from the Jake Tunges fumble. Christian McCaffrey out of the game with a shoulder injury. We've not had it confirmed if he's out. He was questionable last I heard. We'll just double check if he's on the field because I can't see the huddle right now. He is back onto the field. That could be key if there's any slim hope of this San Francisco 49ers making a game of this. They fake a handoff to McCaffrey. He has options out to the left-hand side, and that's where he goes. Purdy finds his fullback in Carl Juszczyk, gets to the 40, out to the 41-yard line, and on a broken down play, a scramble drill, that's a 10-yard pickup and a first down. San Francisco at their own 41-yard line. Oh, Carl Juszczyk, so good to watch.
I like Carl Juszczyk, he's amazing.
He left the team. He was cut because his contract was too big. Left for 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
And was brought back. So devastated they were in their decision on a team-friendly deal, and he has been brilliant this year for them. Purdy in the gun, McCaffrey alongside him, sends Ricky Pearsall from right to left. Single receiver on that left-hand side is Pearsall to the right. Fakes the handoff to McCaffrey, looking for a shot downfield. Had lots of time in the pocket here, Purdy, on this left-hand side. Goes over the middle, and it's picked! Intercepted! And that is the game! The man over the middle, the man of the moment, the man who ends things for the San Francisco 49ers is the brilliant Ernest Jones with his 6th interception of the season. And as Brock Purdy tries to force the ball into coverage, Jones steps in front of it and just makes another huge play for the Seattle Seahawks defense. Unbelievable stuff. Mike McDonald, take a bow. You have been brilliant this year. This defense has been just unbeatable, and right now they look the favourites from the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
I believe after this, Aiden is gonna be in a plane.
Wow.
Going to see some interviews. There's a lot of coaching jobs right now.
Huge shout out to Adam Durdy. I know I gave Mike McDonald all the praise in that moment, but Adam Durdy has coached up this defense absolutely brilliantly. Purdy had so much time in the pocket then, tried to force it to Tunges over the middle, and when you're trying to force the game, you make the mistakes, Will.
And that's it, when you're down 21 points and you're trying to do anything to get back into it, you are going to make mistakes. It's a great play once again from Ernest Jones, who has really shown this wealth of talent in this linebacker room, particularly for the Seahawks, but what he's able to do, the lights dim round Lumen Field, once again just building this atmosphere, hyping these fans up if they needed any more from what they've been able to do already, the fun that they're having in Lumen. But right now, this is just a formality at this point, and it's a sad end to what has been a superb season for the 49ers. Yet again, the injury bug bites. Jake Tunges going out with that non-contact injury. Christian McCaffrey getting banged up even though he came back into this game. And it just feels like once your fuel is running out, you're unable to start the car, and it feels like that's the problem the Niners have had in this game. Going up yet again against an elite defense, they've struggled to find the answers, and I wonder, is that a play calling thing, Alfredo, or is that genuinely just the amount of talent, the lack of talent they've got left?
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, of course.
Drew Lock's coming into the game.
He is?
Oh no, he's not. I thought he was. Drew Lock was throwing on the sideline like it was coming into the game, helmet on, and I really thought that they were this confident, 3 touchdowns up, that they're going to go, let's throw the backup in with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. I apologise for interrupting. You were making some excellent points, but the way they were set up there, I heard that back in the studio. But the way they were set up there, that was looking like Drew Lock was coming into the game.
But what is it then, Alfredo? The fact that they are lacking so much talent, their superstars are gone. They've embraced this underdog tag with this not a ragtag group of guys they've got, but still it's not George Kittle, it isn't Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. They've had to get and make do. What do you make of what we're seeing right now? Is it a play calling issue on offense, or is it they've not got these guys available?
I'm gonna give all the credit to this Seahawks coaching. They've been awesome and incredible this entire year. That's why they're the first seed.
Darnold breaks the huddle, gets under centre. They'll start this drive from the San Francisco 47. First and 10, 6:09 left in the quarter, up 27-6. They fake the handoff, rolling out to the right-hand side, find Jackson Smith and Jigba. Demo Lenore in coverage, pushes him out of bounds for a short gain across midfield. It's about 3 yards, and that'll be 2nd and 7 from just inside the 45.
Gray Sable again. He doesn't go back.
I love him so much.
They try to push him, and his anchor. He's pretty good.
It's a superb offensive line. The fact that they had Charles Cross back, he didn't play in that Week 18 game, but even then they're just solid across that line. It's so hard for the
Amari Knight is actually in for Charles Cross right now. I wonder if that's just to protect Charles Cross on the left-hand side of that line. They hand the ball off to Kenneth Walker, who tries to make a man miss up the middle and is hit by Demo Lenore back at the line of scrimmage, and 2nd and 6 becomes 3rd and 6. Maybe they give him half a yard on that one, but the 49ers defense holding the Seahawks right now just outside of field goal range. Jason Myers' career long is 61 yards, so this is in field goal range technically for him, but it would be a 60-yard field goal.
I'll go for it.
Darnold comes out in 5 wide on this 3rd and 5. They do give him the yard on the play. 49ers showing blitz. Linebackers mugged up in the A-gaps. Renato Green one-on-one against Rashid Shaheed. They look to the other side of the field, and they've got a man absolutely wide open in Kenneth Walker. Past the 30, goes down at the 28-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. Clint Kubiak with a brilliant play design against the pressure from San Francisco, and that's a 10-yard pickup on 3rd and 5.
There's a smirk on Sam Darnold's face because he slightly overthrows this ball, and if it is just a touch less, Kenneth Walker is going the distance here. They're able to seal it off on the edge. He's able to get the...
I was so ready to call a touchdown.
Exactly, and that's it. I thought it was a go-to, and Sam Darnold, you can just see that smirk. He knows that should have been a tuddy.
I girdled my loins ready to shout for the people of Seattle one more time. Instead, Darnold in the gun. He's got one back in alongside him, and indicates that he wants a change in the protection. Fakes the handoff, then gives it to the back, running off the left-hand side. It's Rashid Shaheed in the backfield, and he's hit at the 30-yard line, and that's actually going to be a loss of yardage on the play. Losing about 3, going out at the 30. It's going to be a 2nd and 13.
D. Winters having a good game so far. It's just one score is for it shouldn't be less, but the first kickoff return kind of killed this game.
They've got Velus Jones Jr. in the game as well as Kenneth Walker. As I say, they've replaced Charles Cross at left tackle. If we could just find out if that's injury related or if it's just a decision to protect Charles Cross after he missed that Week 18 game with injury. Darnold in the gun. He's gone 5 wide, sending Kenneth Walker out of the formation on 2nd and 13. Loads of time in the pocket. Finds him out of the 15. It's Cooper Kupp. Turns upfield and is brought down there by Upton Stout, who strips the ball out, but the play has already been blown dead. And on that 2nd and 13, they pick up 10 yards and make it a 3rd and 3 at the 20.
I was just going to say, Will, you asked me to look at Charles Cross's status. It's interesting. A lot of people on social media believing that this is potential just resting after that hamstring injury, but he is questionable to return with a foot injury, went straight to the locker room. That's a big loss.
Interesting stuff. They actually put it all the way up at the 16-yard line. It's difficult to see the lines from our position up here. I apologise. It was the 15, not the 20, but it is still they're calling it a 1st and 10 from there. Darnold under centre. Turns and looks to hand the ball off, and they blow the play dead, and it's going to be actually a timeout called by the Seattle Seahawks, something they didn't like on the other side, or maybe the time was running down on the clock again. I can't see the play clock from where we are in this booth up here. I'm desperately trying to bend over and see that end zone over there. Hey, here we go. Someone listening to us live right now on talkSPORT, making a bit of a sad face at us from NFL Films, listening on the app. A huge fan of that. That's really thrown me. I don't know why.
That's great to see. There you go.
I can tell Will prefers to be with the crowd instead of the box.
Well, this is it. Look, this is a whole new experience for us. We are, and if you're watching us on talkSPORT, on the talkSPORT YouTube and the talkSPORT USA YouTube channel right now, you will see our commentary position. Very cozy, very snug. We had plenty of space in Philadelphia last week. We were jumping around.
Yeah.
And yeah, now
But
it's
it
a
was
little
really
bit cozy.
cold. It was really cold.
It was cold. Now I'm warm. I feel like I'm on the beach.
If you are watching, get in the chat and let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We need something to fill our time for the rest of this game. I'm kidding. Sam Darnold under centre sends a man in motion in Eric Sauber, hands the ball off to Kenneth Walker, makes a cut upfield, and Kenneth Walker is going to go in for another Seattle Seahawks touchdown. He has been nothing but sensational today, Kenneth Walker, and off the left-hand side of the line. All year long this year, the knock on him has been he's not had the touchdowns. They've gone to Jacques Charbonnet in the red zone. Today he says, oh, no such issues, sir, as he goes for his second rushing touchdown of the day, and the game is 33-6.
He's been so explosive that no one can touch him. He just went running. Even Mustafa tried to catch him. He couldn't. He's so fast.
The blocking on the end of that line from Amari Knight and AJ Barner was nothing short of sensational. I feel like I've said sensational a lot in the last 10 minutes, but that's how I would describe this Seahawks team as the extra point goes up and is good. 34-6, 2:23 remaining. Jacques Charbonnet, by the way, is on the sideline with Kenneth Walker. He's helmet off. He's not going to be back in the game, but he is standing. He is with his teammates. He is hugging them and celebrating as this Seahawks team are getting ready to host the NFC Championship game next weekend. A game we will bring to you live on talkSPORT, where you're listening to NFL Live. But I will not be flying to Seattle again. Say again. Yeah, it could be. 100%. Yeah, I know. Saying 100% to bring Drew Lock into Ollie back in the studio, like, you have to do it. Genuinely. I know what you mean about the echoing. I think it's just because we can hear it in this room, but I think...
3 mics.
Yeah, I think when you're back in the studio, you don't hear it, like...
Because I turned mine on as well, it's like this side,
Can't help it. Cannot help it. All right, what is the time? What's time in the UK? 3:30? Okay, so we thought the game was going to go until 4. It's going to now go till 4:15, 4:30. We'll have to fill for a bit of time. I really like her NFL Films hat. We've only got visiting locker room on our passes, so we're ready to go and speak to some sad boys. Yeah.
I told her that. 10 seconds.
Headset's going back on. My nose has been streaming this whole game. I don't know what's going on. Back with NFL Live on talkSPORT. I'm Will Gavin here in Lumen Field, Seattle, where we have seen a dominant Seahawks performance. Maybe a changing of the guard in the NFC West. This division all season, the first division in NFL history to deliver 3 12-plus win teams, to deliver 3 of the 4 teams in the divisional round. It has been just brilliant to watch all year long. The backs and forth, the battles between these teams. But tonight, Mike McDonald, Adam Dirty's defense have just done an absolute number on the San Francisco 49ers, and they now hold a 28-4 touchdown lead on San Francisco as Jason Myers boots the ball away, looking to around the 5-yard line where Sky Moore will bring it out from. Out to the 20, 25, maybe has a hold to the 30, and he's tackled right there at the 30. A brilliant piece of special teams play. The man in on the tackle is Ty Okada, and that's where the 49ers will start this next drive, right at the 30-yard line.
There's a question that I want us to I want to permeate over the next quarter. This right now, it looks like a foregone conclusion. The Seahawks will be heading to the NFC Championship. But I want to point the question to both of you. How good is this team when you consider, are they a genuine Super Bowl threat? We can get into that as the next quarter, presumably.
I think it'd be difficult to not call them a genuine Super Bowl threat. After the 2 games in the last 2 weeks against the 49ers, I think they're the favourites. As Christian McCaffrey gets the ball up the middle and loses a yard on the play. We talked about swarming with this defence. We talked about a freight train as they charge down on them on every single play. And Christian McCaffrey can't even get back to the line of scrimmage here. And look, it's the end of the season for this 49ers team, more than likely, unless we see a borderline miracle from this team. And we've had more fourth quarter comebacks of 28 points or more than any other season in NFL history. There have been 5, I think, 21 points or more, sorry. 5 comebacks of that size this season. It's absolutely unbelievable that that's happened. If the 49ers score a quick touchdown here, there is the slightest glimmer of hope as Purdy scrambles out of the outside down to the 35-yard line and is pushed outbound right around the 37, 4 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 4, an 8-yard pickup with his legs there. Brock Purdy scrambling yet again for this team, giving them some life. But yeah, there has to be a point where someone like Christian McCaffrey, with over 400 touches this season, they maybe need to think about rotating Brian Robinson in a little bit more, especially as he has already had a shoulder issue in this game. Right, ball is at the 37-yard line. They're calling it 3rd and 3 from there. Purdy is in the gun, single back alongside him, 3 receivers to the left, pressure off the right hand side from Marcus Lawrence, he throws to that side, big pickup by Jawan Jennings at the 45, and then the ball hits the ground. Kobe Bryant got his hands in there, and what looked like it was going to be a massive chunk play for the San Francisco 49ers, all the way to the opposition 45-yard line. A 20-yard pickup means they're now going to have to be going for it on 4th and 3 inside their own territory. The crowd here at Lumen Field elevates once more. How can it be any louder than they've dominated all day today? Up 4 touchdowns on their fiercest divisional rivals. And amazingly, Mike McDonald has waited to see what the offense offer him and taken another timeout. Alfredo, this feels like teasing at this point of the 49ers.
Yeah, they look like they're giving up. The morale is low.
Well, it just must be so demoralising, Alfredo, when you've been run on all game and you come into this and you're wanting to look back at 2 weeks ago, you wanted to right that wrong, and ultimately what has happened today is they've been run on, they've been outfought, and unfortunately the talent just isn't there to get them over the line. They're going up against one of the best defences in the NFL, and there is no shame in that. And I think my experience in Santa Clara this week, I came across a team that there was just, the chips are down, but this is free money. What's the expectation? There's still fight, but right now the Seahawks, they are heading to the NFC Championship.
Listen to the 12s. 4th and 3, just inside the 40. Purdy in the gun. McCaffrey alongside him. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They bring a blitz. Very rare, but Nick Imamori has got pressure on Purdy. Purdy managed to scramble out. Gets up to the 20. Gets up to the 23-yard line. Throws the ball downfield, looking for Kendrick Bourne, who nearly brings it in, but the ball goes incomplete. Purdy may well have been out of bounds down here at the 25-yard line as well. And yet again, another turnover for this just unbelievable Adam Dirty and Mike McDonald defense. They have had no answers for them for 2 straight weeks now, and in an era, hold on, we're just finding out from the referee what's the call is, in an era where for so many years we heard defense wins championships. I really haven't felt like since the Denver Broncos 2015 no-fly zone that we have had true championship winning defenses. You've had to have a great offense, whether that's Mahomes, whether that's the Eagles, whether that's Brady and the Bucks. Like, all of these teams had to have a great offense as well as a good defense. This team has got a good offense. It's running the ball much better in the second half of the season, but this team, the Texans, the Broncos, they might be the 3 best defenses we've seen in the last decade, and they're all in the same season playing that well. It's unreal, and I think we might end up with a Super Bowl that ends up 13-10, but with two defenses that are just going to give us so much joy.
If you have a pretty good defense and a pretty good offensive lineman, you're basically a top team in this league, because sometimes you have a pretty good defense but not a good offense. The offensive lineman is the core of the offense to call these plays, being able to run or being able to pass in a third and long. But in this situation, I feel that the Seattle Seahawks have both.
Well, just on those three teams you mentioned there, Will, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Seahawks, when you assess the offensive performances of all three of those teams this season, the struggles the Texans have had with a new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley, when you look at the Denver Broncos and the run they went on, the inconsistencies, and now what we're to expect from their offense with Jarrett Stidham and not Bo Nix, this offense has been really exciting. Look, don't get me wrong, they had about a month where they sort of slightly went off the boil, didn't they? They were explosive. They were really taking the NFL by storm. They had a month off, but still, you don't have to put the game on Sam Darnold's back, because that defense is so explosive on its own. And like you said, Will, they can single-handedly win you a championship. But alongside that offense as well, that is humming, that is ticking, and you have some star talent, well, the world's your oyster.
Look at the Seahawks scoring drives in this game, right? They had the 10-play, 80-yard drive at the end of the second quarter, which would have been a 3-and-out had it not been for a foolish penalty in the middle of the defense from the 49ers, right? Beyond that, they had the kick return touchdown, special teams. This is the fields that they've gone on the rest of their drives. 44 yards, 42 yards, 36 yards, 47 yards. They've not had to have an offensive drive over 50 yards, bar the one that got extended by a penalty. Like, that just shows you this defense is giving them great field position. This special teams is giving them great field position. They are a true three-phase team. And yeah,
Jackson Smith and Jigba, 3 receptions for 19 yards today, but crucially the touchdown.
Right, Sam Darnold is still in this game. We thought it might be Drew Lock at this point, but they're going to start 1st and 10 from the 37, 34-6. They lead the 49ers. They would love to put up a 40 bomb on this team, if not even a 50, as they hand off to Kenneth Walker. A missed tackle from the 49ers. He gets down to the 25-yard line, a 12-yard gain, and a first down to the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, this defense just looked absolutely gassed for San Francisco, Alfredo.
Kubiak just find a way. He's been running to the left side where Sable is, and he's been delivering.
Marcus Siegler and Bryce Huff eventually in on the tackle on that play, but 2 missed tackles on it as part of it. And the offense are wandering back down the field as they're going to let the clock tick down to the end of the third quarter. Still 15 minutes of football left in this game. Don't forget, we've got a huge Sunday night football game to come for you live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow night, as Ollie Hunter from 1 a.m. will bring you the Chicago Bears against the Los Angeles Rams to see who will most likely, barring a miracle, come on the road here to face the Seattle Seahawks in this incredible atmosphere with this incredible defense. And we'll hear one more quarter of them live from Seattle here on talkSPORT up next. I'm so tired now. It's hit me. It's just, like, it's really just hit me in the last 5 minutes or so. I've been up for...
I know, man. You're the man. More than 20. So you were like 6 in the morning yesterday, right?
Yeah, no. 22 hours at this point, I think.
Wow.
I did sleep for a few hours on the plane. I'm being a whingy little... I'm being a 40 whiner, is what I'm being. Better than being a Rain City bee pigeon. Did I say that on the stream? I did say the word, so it's okay, right?
It's a shame that how this has turned out.
It is. I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game.
Tight.
I thought it was going to be tight.
Yeah.
So, if I was going to talk about the possibility of outcomes, my feeling was most likely a tight, low-scoring Seahawks win, but then a Seahawks blowout, and then a 49ers win, like down here somewhere. Like it was always like a big drop-off. Have we got any live sport today that I can talk about? I'm opening up my...
You know what's coming, right? Bleeding the clock, running.
You're back with... You're back with NFL Live on talkSPORT 2. Will Gavin bringing you live and exclusive coverage from the NFL here in Seattle, where the Seahawks are dominating on their way to an NFC Championship game and maybe an appearance at the Super Bowl. And how sweet it would be for Mike McDonald in just his second season as the head coach of this team to get to go to the home of his fiercest rivals, having handed them their behinds twice in the space of two games, and then go and play and maybe even win a championship on their home soil. You are, of course, listening to talkSPORT. A huge day of live sport coming up for you across the network. We'll tell you all about that shortly. But first, let's get back to this game. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Just stepped on Will Varney's foot and nearly fell over. Sam Darnold under centre. Bit 49ers of me based on what we've seen in this game. Darnold takes the ball, hands it off to Kenneth Walker. One cut out to the right. Makes a man miss. Now to Ronaldo Green. Gets 9 yards on the play. The whole pile pushes him forwards down to the 8, down to the 9, 10. Inside the 10-yard line. That should have been a 9-yard gain and a 2nd and 1, and instead the entire of the offense heaved him forwards an extra 5 yards, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 49ers 9-yard line.
We're starting to see some of those runs that we saw in the Week 18 defeat, where there's missed tackles and ultimately they're just being out physical to this defensive line right now, and there is no shame in that. The offensive line has been superb. Just a quick note, Will, Charles Cross came back from the locker room onto the sideline. That is a good news for the Seattle Seahawks.
14 minutes remaining and 17 seconds. 1st and goal from the 9. Darnold is in the gun, sends a man in motion. Unsurprisingly, the ball goes to Kenneth Walker on the outside. Ronaldo Green hits him about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It will be a loss of 2 yards, maybe even 3, for 2nd and goal from the 12.
This defense is so demoralized. They're not playing like they were in the first quarter. I know they're bunged up, but you have to finish these games.
What you have to say from this defense is that as much as they've been so undermanned all year, is that they have always flown to the ball. They've had a lot of missed tackles against the Seahawks.
You're right.
21 missed tackles, in fact, in that Week 18 game. 2nd most in a game in the NFL this season. And they actually played reasonably well considering the situation in the first half. They're just worn out at this point. I'll tell you the time of possession in a moment as we get a snap from Darnold, a fake throw, and then it goes to Kenneth Walker on the inside, plows over a man, down inside the 10, down to the 6. Demo and Jake Bobo get into it a little bit afterwards, but it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line, and Kenneth Walker continues to ram the ball down the San Francisco 49ers' throats.
Kenneth Walker had a pretty sloppy season, but on playoff, he's responding so well.
Over 1,000 yards for him, and he didn't have a single fumble, which I was kind of maybe slightly surprised at, if I'm honest. 2 touchdowns today already, and that takes him over 100 yards for the day. 17 carries, 104 yards, over 6 yards a carry average, along with 15 and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, have yourself a night.
Yeah, just watching D. Winters here, Will. He made a tackle on Kenneth Walker just a couple of plays ago. Appeared groggy coming back from it. The refs have just stepped in and led him off to the sideline. Yet again, another, veteran of this defense being led off the field.
Involvement from the extra official, you would suggest. Right, Darnold in the gun, Kenneth Walker alongside him. Cooper Kupp is brought in tight with the line. It goes to Walker, off the right side of the line, down to the 5, and it's a hat-trick for Kenneth Walker on this incredibly special night for the Seattle Seahawks. He strolls into the end zone off the right-hand side of his offensive line, and they have run the ball superbly tonight, the Seattle Seahawks. They have made the 49ers try and work for every single yard, and they have just broken the backs of San Francisco on their way to a 40-6 lead.
That was like a cross block for Abraham Lucas and the tight end, Suburb. And I called it before. I told you that Kenneth Walker is going to get 2 more touchdowns.
Jalen Sundell, the centre, with a pin pull there to get off the end as the extra point is up, and the extra point is good, and we have a 35.5 touchdown lead with 12:43 remaining in the 4th quarter. I mean, it was already blowout territory. Now, are they eyeing up a 50-burger?
This is a vital lesson for the 49ers going into next season, because you never want to experience moments like these ever again. I said it pre-game that, if anything, it's terrible going out of the playoffs, your season going up in smoke, that hope ebbing away, but really going out to a divisional rival, and all of the talk this week, all the jawing back and forth between Seahawks players and 49ers players, and then coming here and, like you say, Will, being put 41 points on your back, only putting 6 points up on offense after only putting up 3 points just 2 weeks ago. That frustration, we've seen it up on the field, and the frustration is, Alfredo, they can't do anything to stop it.
They tried inside zone, nothing. They tried outside zone. They tried play action. They tried everything on their menu, and nothing has worked. Imagine their frustration to not be able to have a solid drive where you can connect to your players or run pretty well. This defense is stopping every chance that Kyle Shanahan has. Can I just put something out there to both of you, and maybe this is a cynical viewpoint and you may well correct me. A lot of talk this week about Robert Saleh taking a couple of interviews before this game, interviewing with the Miami Dolphins, the Arizona Cardinals as well. Is that something we can pick up on? Is that silliness for me to mention that when we look at a defense that's had 41 points put on it today?
Listen, I hate the way the coaching cycle works. I think the fact that coaches can only interview from the 1 seed during the bye week, but then any coach can interview in the way up to the divisional round if they've already played. I think that's absolute nonsense. I think it is unfair. I'm not saying this as somebody who is involved with the 49ers or whatever. I'm saying this as a general disdain for how the rule works. It does. I've never been a fan of it.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you were to push the head coaching cycle to the end of January, so you say like literally just the Super Bowl teams, or even to after the Super Bowl, to the second week of February, what you then are left with is, do people get to hire their GMs before that, or do they also have to wait on that? Do you get a situation where if somebody sacks their head coach in season, you're not going to allow them to hire somebody before the end of the year, and suddenly you're not getting your head coach and your GM in until the second week of February, and you're off to the combine in 2 weeks' time. You're meant to have a draft board in place. You're drafting in like 6 or 7 weeks after that. So it only would work if they pushed the whole thing back, and they're already planning to push the Super Bowl back as it is. Like, they want the Super Bowl to be on not Labor Day weekend, what's the holiday in February? Memorial Day weekend. That's their aim. When they go to 18 games, 2 bye weeks, you push the Super Bowl back and you make it a national holiday on the Monday. I just don't think there's any other way around it. I don't like it, but I think you have to offer those coaches the opportunity to try and get themselves a head coaching job. There's only 32 of those jobs in the world. As the 49ers take a touchback, they'll come out to the 35-yard line to start this drive. Like, you have to give head coaches the chance to get that job. And Robert Saleh is someone who I think deserves another opportunity. I like Robert Saleh, but he's a leader of men type. He is not a schematic advantage guy, and I wouldn't hire him this cycle personally.
I think this will be a wake-up call. This will be sobering today, and I wonder whether he comes back stronger next year with this defense with more talent on it.
Purdy under centre, use check in motion, hands it to McCaffrey, up the middle, makes a man miss, gets out to the 40, out to the 43-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers, 8 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 2 from there. Nice off-tackle run on the left, just on the hashes, and there'll be, 2nd and 2, like I said.
All 3 phases from the Seahawks. They've been great defense, offense, special teams. Right now, I don't know. I would recommend to put the subs down and coming for next week.
Well, you've just said that. We're seeing similar for the 49ers as Jordan James, the rookie running back, is into the backfield and goes over the right tackle and gets it down for a 1-yard-ish gain. It's going to be 3rd and 1 at the 44-yard line. It's San Francisco to get the ball from there. McCaffrey, actually, we're seeing on the play before that, as he goes down, helmet contact with the defender's left thigh, and he comes off the field shooken up. Might be the last we see of Christian McCaffrey in the 2025 season, as it might be sensible to take him out of the game. I'm going to say that. They're going to break the huddle here. He's going to be there, isn't he? No, he's not. They have got Jordan James, the rookie out of Oregon, in the backfield. It'll be Purdy, quarterback sneak, pick up 3 yards on it. First down, San Francisco, out to the 46-yard line of their own half. This
is a foregone conclusion now, and it's total that the Seahawks will be in the NFC Championship game next week.
We've been saying that since about one drive into the third quarter.
We have been saying this for a long time. I'll let you pick up the play, Will, as the 49ers go quick.
Yeah, they do. They get under centre with Purdy, with James in the backfield. He's forced to naked boot out to the left-hand side. Doesn't have options downfield, so scrambles for it, gets out past the 50 and goes down around the 51-yard line, picks up 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6 from there.
One thing I just wanted to say is I think one person who deserves a huge amount of credit in the Seahawks organisation, John Schneider, and we could touch on it a bit during this half. But what this team, this roster they've been able to create, the move to get Sam Darnold in and trade away Geno and DK Metcalf, and what it has brought this season, it's absolutely phenomenal the job he's done.
I hated the move from Geno to Darnold, and it's, you know, seeing them in the NFC Championship game, so what do I know? 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left is Sky Moore. Straight drop back for Purdy. He looks over the middle, finds Jordan James out to the 45, dives forward past the 43-yard line of the Seattle Seahawks. First down, San Francisco in Seattle territory, right on the right hash mark.
I know you have to be smart, but you gotta pay attention to the clock. You're bleeding the clock. They're gonna bleed the clock. It seems like they give up the game now.
I do wonder if there's a perspective of, you mentioned there, Will, whether we've seen the end of Christian McCaffrey this season. Do you actually leave him out now? The game's gone. You don't want to get a season-ending injury ahead of 2026?
Purdy's in the gun, sends Farrell in motion, has 2 receivers left, and he's going to take a straight drop back. He's under pressure from the right-hand side. DeMarcus Robinson comes up in the play, gets out to the 30, down to the 40-yard line, goes out of bounds there. A short pickup. They're going to mark him at the 39-yard line. Picks up maybe 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 from there.
You know what I'm seeing of Brock Purdy's that cards game. He's trying to win this game. I like his mentality. I like the way he's trying to still fight.
I said DeMarcus Robinson. I obviously meant DeMarcus Lawrence off that end. DeMarcus Robinson hasn't switched sides to play pass rush for the Seahawks. Purdy under pressure. He's going to be hit from behind. Ball is out. Ball is down, and the ball is with the Seattle Seahawks. Nick Emenwari falls on the pass, and as Brock Purdy attempted to step up in the pocket, he's hit from behind. Ball comes out, and the brilliant rookie safety Nick Emenwari comes up with the play. Another turnover for this San Francisco 49ers team. Another turnover for this unbelievable defense. And I just mentioned him, DeMarcus Lawrence, with a 4th forced fumble of the season, recovered by the Seahawks. And you just mentioned John Schneider. He's on the sideline celebrating with all the coaches because he knows he's put together an unbelievable unit. Just on this very quickly, while I mention this, DeMarcus Lawrence comes to this team from the Cowboys. They add a huge strength to what was already a very good line. Why did he come to this team? Adam Dirty coached him in Dallas. Adam Dirty was the reason that he came to Seattle, and boy has he been a huge difference for this team. If the social media team back at home, if you're still up and still listening, I think we need to make an Adam Dirty supercut of us just like heaping praise on him this week, because man, it's been wonderful to watch. Like, taking any kind of other hat I might possibly have on off, they are a joy to watch, this defense. The way they fly around, the way they're schematically so interesting. They play more nickel and dime than anyone else in the NFL. As they got healthier as the season goes on, just sensational.
I think you can have a genuine appreciation for something watching it on a screen, but when you see it up close and in person, it is even more beautiful. The schematics, like you mentioned, but the physicality that they play with, the athleticism that I mentioned, that swarming nature to the ball, and we have seen that in person tonight, how special this group is. And we talk about top defenses in the league, whether it's Houston, whether it's Denver, but tonight Seattle has shown to me that this team, I knew this team were for real, I knew that they were contending. They are the contender. This team is so good and so talented. And we mentioned John Schneider. That move that they made, trading Geno to the Raiders, you trade DK Metcalf, you bring in Sam Darnold in free agency. Some of the moves they made in the draft, Nick Emenwari, what he has been this year at safety is phenomenal. You mentioned bringing in DeMarcus Lawrence. This team is young, it's fierce, it's got that veteran presence, and it's hungry. And I think that's what makes them so entertaining. They are phenomenal.
And I feel the window to win a Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks have it now. If they're trying to win it all, they need to, they're still Chicago or the Rams, but I think the window is this year.
This is your time. Yeah. This is your time, because you don't know what's going to happen next year. You don't know whether your luck's going to be out on injuries. All of these things that have happened to San Francisco this year. You say, this is what we talk about, windows. The window might just be a year. Yeah. You never know what happens to Sam Darnold next year, for example. This is their time, and they are showing once again how talented they are. It's a phenomenal job from the top to the bottom of this organisation.
Right.
Drew Lock is in.
Drew Lock is into the game. Thank you very much for that, because I was making some notes. Drew Lock is into the game and hands the ball off on the left-hand side to Valus Jones Jr., who gets back to within a line of scrimmage, maybe loses a yard on that one, and they'll call it 2nd and 10. They say got back to the line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line of the Seahawks.
You know what? What a journey.
Off-tackle run to the right-hand side. I should keep calling this game professionally and tell you what's happening.
What a journey! What a journey that Sam Darnold has had. Going first-round pick, get traded or sending away to Carolina, and then San Francisco, and then going to the Vikings, having a good year, and then lost in the playoff, and then coming back here to Seattle, have a great year.
It's a phenomenal story. It really is. We'll get into it after this play call, I imagine, as you know, time runs out really on this game and 49ers season.
Drew Lock back in the centre. They give it to Valus Jones again, up off the practice squad tonight. Picks up maybe 2 on the run there. 8:24 left in the 4th quarter. Maybe call it 3, and that'll be a 3rd and 7. Just before the 45-yard line.
You mentioned Sam Darnold, Alfredo. I think it's a great point, because his story is so inspiring, because there are so many players in this league who will come as a top-round draft pick, and that level of expectation that's on their shoulders. We saw it with Baker Mayfield and how he's been able to reinvigorate his career, and I think we love these stories as NFL fans, when we get to see people who have had to deal with adversity really turn it around. And what Sam Darnold did last year in Minnesota and then this year in Seattle just goes from strength to strength.
Drew Lock back under centre again. Single man behind him is Valus Jones. They do hand it off to him off the right-hand side. Gang tackled by the 49ers. Brought down, and the 49ers have brought some of their backups in on defence. Curtis Robinson and Garrett Wallow in on the tackle there. They do force a 3 and out for the Seahawks. The clock keeps running, and they'll be punting the ball away, up 41-6, 7:25, and the clock running on left in the game.
Just looking around this stadium right now, I find it fascinating, because it almost feels like the energy's been drained out of the stadium because it's so comfortable. The fact the Seahawks have really blown the 49ers out of the water, it's not a close game. Just seeing fans in the stadium milling around right now and sort of just taking it all in, players on the sidelines having a laugh and a joke with one another. It's been some night if you are a Seattle Seahawks fan, some night for the city as well.
Ball is punted away, fielded around the 9-yard line by Sky Moore. He doesn't get any further than the 16-yard line of his own half, and is brought down there, I believe, by Valus Jones Jr., in fact, in on special teams as well. And the 49ers will come out and start their drive from here, and Mac Jones is into the game for the San Francisco 49ers, the last we've seen of Brock Purdy in the 2025 season.
Alfredo, in terms of the lessons that have been learnt today for the 49ers, what do you think is going to be the biggest takeaway for them, for Kyle Shanahan going into 2026 after what's happened today?
After what happened today, I don't know, maybe death in the chart. But it's been a weird season. A lot of injuries, a lot of demoralized weeks. Like, you have a 1 week go, Bosa down. Next week or a couple of weeks later, you got Fred out. Ben Barch, left guard, starting left guard, went out. You got so many players that went out, and it's really difficult to build a good season, and they did. I mean, I want to say Kyle Shanahan had a pretty good season.
So Mac Jones in the gun, has 5 wide, goes over the middle looking for Kendrick Bourne, and it's broken up. Brilliant pass break up from Reek Woolen, still in the game, looking for the first down chunk play there, and that will now be 3rd and 5. They had a run play off the right tackle on first down, by the way. Jordan James picking up 5 yards on that one. 6:14 left in this game. The clock does stop with that pass break up. We've got 3rd and 5 at the 24-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. They break the huddle. Mac Jones will be in the gun. Ricky Pearsall out to the right-hand side. Jordan James in alongside him in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. Kendrick Bourne amongst them, as is Jacob Cowing. He steps back. He's under pressure. Rolls out to his right-hand side. Indicates to James. He has to use his wheels. Gets his legs up there. Gets out past the 30. Hits a man as he goes out of bounds and continues to gain on that play. Fair play as he goes and hits Tyrese Knight at full pelt. Mac Jones there. And gets a first down for the 49ers. Clock keeps running down to 6 minutes.
I just wonder if Mac Jones is using this as an audition. A lot of talk about quarterbacks coming in. I wonder if he is. This is an audition looking for other teams right now around the league who are maybe looking at quarterback. I know the New York Jets are definitely one. I wonder if he's using this as, look, you saw me for 8 games in the regular season. Have another one of me for the final 5 minutes of this playoff game. Let me show you what I can do.
Jones in the gun. Drop back. Brian Robinson was in the backfield and now receives it over the middle, tackled right around midfield. I think that's Olu Oluwatimi coming in. Oh no, he's a centre. That's Patrick O'Connell, sorry, coming in on that one. I missed 55 up with 52. The backups are in, guys. I can make a slight mistake. They get to the 34-yard line on this one. 2nd and 7. Big drop back for Mac Jones. Looks to the right hand side to his tight end Luke Farrell. Goes out of bounds at the 35. Picks up maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 6 from there, and the clock keeps running down to 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. 5 minutes left in the San Francisco 49ers season. So often this year a fairy tale. I said this to I guess Kay Adams this past week. It was
nice name drop.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you. I know. For me, this has been one of my favourite seasons to watch of them because it's been so unexpected for them to get this far with all the injuries they've had. But it felt like this performance was coming, particularly after what we saw in Week 18. Mac Jones drops back. Brian Robinson goes out of protection. He goes for a deep shot to Jawan Jennings, but it's outside his outside shoulder. The coverage was excellent, and it falls incomplete on 3rd and 6. And they are leaving the offense out on the field. 4:30 remaining in the half. No, they're not. They're going to punt the ball away. Out comes the punt team. I mean, Brock Purdy looks devastated on the sideline as he's given a hug by his quarterback's coach. Absolutely tough day for this 49ers offense up against just an unbelievable defense.
And I wonder for the 49ers, I got this sense in Santa Clara that maybe they believed they were onto something special this year. The amount of adversity that they've had to deal with, that long injury list that they've had to deal with week after week. I just wondered whether they felt like this could potentially be the miracle, this could be special, and how it's happened tonight is, just demoralising to say the least.
Fair catch on the punt back at the 14-yard line, outside the numbers from Rashid Shaheed. Good coverage from Neal coming in on the special teams, Saran Neal, and that's where the Seahawks will be out. 41-6, 4:23 left in the half, and they are not bothering with a timeout, I don't think, here. They're going to roll this through and get this game done. Drew Lock straight into the game, straight into the huddle, and they think everybody is going to want to go home. I mean, last weekend we were in Philadelphia for what was a phenomenal 49ers win against the odds to an extent, and it was, the feeling in that locker room afterwards, even though George Kittle went down, was brilliant. But the city itself fell deathly silent after the Eagles lost. I think there's going to be a party in Seattle. There's been the Saturday night game as well. Oh boy, the 12s are going to be having a wild time. Off tackle run to that right hand side. Gets out Valus Jones to about the 20-yard line. Picks up 6 on that first down. It'll be 2nd and 6 outside the numbers at right about the 20.
I can tell that the entire country thought that the 49ers were going to have a pretty good shot because they were showing past few games. But now when you go against a pretty good team,
there's levels.
Yeah, you can tell the injury situation is pretty hard.
Absolutely. It has been just a terrible day at the office for the 49ers, but like you say, Will, a party for the Seahawks.
They call it 7 yards, not 6, as Drew Lock gets under centre. Valus Jones in the backfield, it goes to Jones. Stutter steps, gets up the middle, hit right around the centre of the line, picks up maybe a yard on that one. It'll be 3rd and 2. And they are leaving a lot of the starting defence out there. Cleveland Ferrell and Kalia Davis in on the tackle, but I don't know they've got anyone else to go out there and play. I'm not sure they have any other options at this point, to be honest.
Just a fun bit of trivia that I thought I'd tell you guys.
I always love a fun bit of trivia, buddy.
I love trivia.
Look, our production team back at base giving you a little bit of an insight into how big this win is for the Seahawks today. Their largest win over the 49ers was back in 2005, 41 points to 3, 41 points to 6 right now as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Drew Lock under centre. Can they make it a bigger win than that? But Valus Jones hit right around the line of scrimmage, doesn't get the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1, 2:48 remaining. Clock is rolling. It'll almost be down to the 2-minute warning by the time they either punt the ball away or decide to go it on 4th down. I mean, 4th and 1 here. Do you maybe go for it, try and get that yard, quarterback sneak it, send everybody home?
I don't know. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah. You don't want to allow them to score any more points? Is that what you're saying? Or
I mean, I'll go for it just to finish them.
What a cherry that would be on top of this Sunday. What a exclamation point that would be for them. Punt is up from right around the 10-yard line all the way to inside the 30. Sky Moore fields it at the 25, out to the right-hand side. He's getting swarmed. There's 5 Seahawks around him. He's got all the way back to the 20. Tries to cut back. Loses about 5 yards on the play and is finally taken down at the 21-yard line. Nowhere to go for Sky Moore, who they brought in from Kansas City specifically to kick a punt return. He has brought another element to their game. Their special teams has been excellent this season, but as we hit the 2-minute warning here at Lumen Field, 41-6, the Seahawks dominating. And often in these situations you don't see many empty seats. I told you on the far side from us there were a lot of 49ers fans. That lower stand on the far side is starting to empty out. On this near side, in the club seats where it's all Seahawks fans, I can barely see a flash of blue plastic. They are staying in here. They want to celebrate with their team, and what a victory they will be celebrating. What a performance this Seahawks team have put on today.
And I see the faithful too. The faithful staying until the end with their team, and I think is that they are really appreciated, the players. Look at Sam Darnold, smiling, knowing he's going to the NFC Championship.
I said that without my mic anywhere near my face as I was having a drink of water. I apologise. It's an off-tackle run for Jordan James. Gets out to the 30. I wish it was a beer. That's all.
But right now, I think the key part of this game is there's big lessons learned for the 49ers, but the Seahawks right now, when you assess it's going to be either the Chicago Bears or the LA Rams for them, right now they're licking their lips at either of those matchups, are they not?
100%.
Would you consider Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year?
I would. I think that Mike McDonald has a very good shout at it as well. That's the thing. 2nd and 3 then, as Mac Jones hands it off to Jordan James. He makes one cut, back up inside, gets outside the 30, maybe half a yard shy of the first down as the 2 touch judges come in, and they'll call it 3rd and a half a yard from just outside that 30-yard line. Clock ticking down to just a minute remaining here. 4th quarter, 41-6. The Seattle Seahawks lose this. Oh, excuse me. I'm trying to do the maths. 41 minus 6 is 35. 43 minus 8 is 35. It matches their highest ever postseason win. I'm just thinking about my end of game call at this point, guys, because we'll probably be sharing that clip on social media, I imagine. Handoff to Jordan James. Runs up the gut. Gets the first down for the 49ers. But we are down to within 40 seconds remaining. Will they snap the ball once more? No, the 49ers are clearing off the bench on the far side. The Seahawks on this side as Lumen Field erupts in celebration. This game ties the Seahawks' largest ever post-season victory as Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDonald meet in a moment of real camaraderie at midfield. True respect shown. The Seahawks' largest win over the San Francisco 49ers in 20 years. The 49ers' worst postseason defeat since 1986, and it was all about the Seahawks' brilliant run game, the hat-trick of touchdowns from Kenneth Walker, and this unbelievable defense, absolutely schemed up by Mike McDonald, who was brought into this division to go and beat Kyle Shanahan, to go and beat Sean McVay, and the brilliant Brit Adam Durdy, who's done so well coaching them up all year. 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumbles recovered, 3 turnovers on downs, the Purdy interception, Ernest Jones had a forced fumble and an interception, DeMarcus Lawrence 2 forced fumbles including the sack which was the turnover, Leonard Williams with a huge sack. They had 6 pass breakups from 6 different players tonight. They held the 49ers 2 weeks ago to 3 points, the lowest mark in the Kyle Shanahan era. This week they double that score to 6 points. The Seahawks dominated Lumen Field and they are on to the NFC Championship game, and for me right now, based on that performance and what we saw 2 weeks ago, I think they're favourites for the Super Bowl.
I think they're favourites too because of, well, in this game they dominate from the first play to the last. First play they return it for a touchdown. Last play, I mean, stopping this offense, right, the backups, but I say like Seattle dominated completely this game. They destroy this offense. They didn't have a chance to compete. No timing, no spaces. This this is I haven't seen. This is the first time I saw this defense live, and they were completely dominated.
I mean, I'll make a prediction for you.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen this defense live in 3 weeks. I fully expect to see this defense live again in Santa Clara when we're there to call Super Bowl 60 alongside Ross Tucker, alongside Greg Rosenthal, alongside the brilliant Will Varney, because that was just sensational. I thought when I watched the game from my sofa with a good buddy of mine who's a Seahawks fan and a few other friends, and I watched that game 2 weeks ago, it's not hidden in any way, shape or form that I am a 49ers fan. I love good football and I love watching the Seahawks team play. But I watched that game and I just thought to myself, this defense, every time you get a pass off, every time someone makes a reception, they just close the ball down. They hit you immediately. They are to it every time. They read everything you're doing. Do you remember that Carl Juszczyk, fake toss play to Christian McCaffrey in the first half, which was classic Shanahan, which was classic first down pickup, and the Seahawks just read them like a book and said, absolutely not, shutting that down. They look unstoppable on that side of the ball, and even the Rams, who I think were my favourite going into the season for the Super Bowl, alongside the Packers. They were the team who I said if Stafford's back holds up, I like them to go all the way. I think they're the most complete team in the NFL. But this defense is so good, that unit is so good, that I think that's going to make the difference in an NFC Championship game. Whether it's against Caleb Williams, who's been so good this postseason, so good in the last few weeks of the season, or whether it's against Matthew Stafford, who's probably going to win the MVP. I think this defense will have the beating of both of them. I really do.
It was simply outstanding. Simply outstanding performance from what we've seen today. And like you said, Alfredo, it gives you a moment for thought of how good they were. I remember back in October seeing Matthew Stafford firsthand. And sometimes you see special players and they sort of take your breath away. Performance-wise, I think he had 5 touchdowns on the day. Today, this was a unit. This was a group of players. The talent level was so high, and what they've been able to do, this malleable defense that I mentioned has this phenomenal balance of veterans and youth, and there is this hunger and this desire to hunt and get the ball at every possible time. They are superb. The offense, like we mentioned in the game, they don't have to be outstanding. They don't have to be amazing. But Sam Darnold showed enough tonight to say he can put a game on his back if he needs to with that offense. There are players in there. Kenneth Walker, 3 touchdowns on the day. Jackson Smith and Jigba, probably, if not possibly, the 1-2 in the Offensive Player of the Year come NFL honours in a couple of weeks' time. This is an outstanding group, an outstanding coaching staff, an unbelievable job by the front office in creating this roster. Who on earth, at the start of this season, when they looked at Geno Smith being traded, DK Metcalf being traded, did they believe this team would canter to an NFC Championship game? An unbelievable job, and it simply has to be applauded. We've witnessed something special at Lumen Field tonight, and I second what you said, Will. This is the team to beat for me in the NFC right now, and for me, the team to beat in the Super Bowl, because they are that good.
Right, I'm going to take a moment, though, to wax lyrical about the 49ers
Yeah,
season.
let's do it.
Because as much as the Seahawks deserve the flowers right now, and they are deserving winners of this NFC West, deserving winners of this game, deserving #1 seeds, and let's not forget, 4 times they've been #1 seeds, 3 times they've been to the Super Bowl, and right now they're 1 game away from doing the same again. This season is Kyle Shanahan's best coaching job as the San Francisco 49ers head coach. And I say that as a guy who's taken them to 2 Super Bowls, who has taken them to multiple NFC Championship games. This is the first time he's lost a game before the NFC Championship game when he's made the playoffs. 7-0 prior to the NFC Championship game when playing in the playoffs, right? It's an unbelievable record, and that this year, Brock Purdy goes down week 1. George Kittle goes down week 1. Nick Bosa goes down week 3 with a season ender. Fred Warner goes down week 6 with what turns out to be a season ender. You're losing 3 future Hall of Famers, 2 guaranteed All-Pros this season, probably 3 as well, like Nick Bosa, probably a second-team guy. And in Brock Purdy, what you saw in the second half of the season from him when he came back in was one of the best 8-game stretches of his career so far. Up until that Seahawks game, that point, he was absolutely brilliant. The way I'm going to be positive about them and the way I'm going to spin this to you is I'm going to say that they have shown, with whether it be Upton Stout, whether it be Alfred Collins, whether it be CJ West, who made big plays again
Marquis
tonight.
Siegel last week against the Philadelphia Eagles is giving you something.
Marquis Siegel, you've got a bunch of second-year guys like Malik Mustafa. Everybody is under contract in the back end of that defence. Only free agents you've really got. Juwan Jennings is probably the key one. When Juwan Jennings is your key free agent, you're hopefully going to be able to find a way to move on from Brandon Ayuk. That's going to create some cap space for you. This is absolutely a 49ers team who can win 12 games again next season, who can push the Seahawks again next season, and could be NFC champions, could be Super Bowl champions again next year. I think what these young players will have learnt this season, what they will have gone through all of those hardships, all of those ups and downs, fighting every single week. Trent Williams said it to us last week. They fought another week to play another week with their brothers. And I feel like the way this unit has come together, the way you experienced it this past week in Santa Clara, I think that the 49ers had a special season that came to a horribly abrupt end against a phenomenal football team, but they can absolutely bounce back and be contenders again next season.
We forget about Michael Williams when he was...
and I didn't even mention Michael Williams, who, when he was in the game, when he was playing, the run defence was tons better than it was this year, and he started to show flashes in the pass rush as well. I'm sorry, what a great shout. What a great shout.
I mean, when he was in, like Will said, we have a better defense. Imagine, having these players back, I can tell. And if they do have a good free agency, we can have a better and more aggressive and completely bunch of stars in the team. And then we have a salary cap. So I can tell John Lynch right now, on the way back to Santa Clara, he will be calling a few people and preparing for the next year.
Exactly, because we spoke about Super Bowl windows, and we don't know how long they're going to last. And right now, when you have a team as talented as they are, look, there are going to be questions heading into the off-season about whether it's going to be Robert Saleh. Is he going to be handed a head coaching job? Is he going to potentially move on? Clay Kubiak has had a couple of interviews as well. When you look at the core of this roster, there are going to have to be improvements, especially on the offense. When you look at the pass catchers, whether it be Juwan Jennings, is he going to get that extension? Do you have to go out and can you find, whether it be in the draft or in free agency, is there going to be a receiver around who you can get the best out of? Of course, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say, I was going to jump in on that and say, what's really interesting is when you look at this divisional round this weekend, 8 teams, 8 head coaches, 4 of them defensive leaning, 4 of them offensive leaning. When the idea is, when you're hiring a head coach in this cycle, you're looking for the offensive genius. And I have to say, when I look around the NFL, if I was hiring a coach, I'm looking for a great schematic difference-making offensive guy. That's what I want to find, because I know if I've got that guy, I've got one side of the ball covered for, like with Shanahan, like with McVay, like you felt like with LaFleur until, some tough postseason losses. Like you felt with those guys, you've got a whole side of the ball covered consistently. And in the NFL, defenses are much more inconsistent than offenses season to season. It's much more difficult to keep a great defense back-to-back years compared to a great offense. So my lean would always be in that direction. But I think Mike Macdonald is showing that you can be a really great defensive head coach. He can have a brilliant defensive play caller in Adam Dirty. He can have great offensive, enough offensive production on the other side. Like you said, great line, great running game. Darnold doing just enough after a brilliant first half of the season. That is a winning formula. And actually, I think it's showing the rest of the NFL you don't have to go, ooh, where's the next person that's touched the hem of Sean McVay's sleeve at one point in their career? You can actually go out and find yourself just a great man motivator, a great defensive guy, and build around them if they are the right person. And Mike Macdonald right now, he might be the head coach of this Seahawks team for the next 20 years and take them to multiple championships. He's been that good the first 2 years.
And the future is really bright, not only for this team moving forward, but also for San Francisco. You mentioned it's been a fantastic season for Kyle Shanahan's group, and the fact that he's been in the Coach of the Year, discussions with all the adversity this team has had to deal with. But like you mentioned, Will, this is a young team, again, just continuing to grow. And from what I saw and felt in Santa Clara, around that locker room, around that building, there's just a tremendous amount of belief about the future, about who this staff is, this front office, like you mentioned, Alfredo, and the direction they're going to be moving on. Like you mentioned, John Lynch is probably going to be working the phones right now in terms of looking ahead to next season. It may be over for San Francisco, but it's just getting started for Seattle. I'll give you the final word, Alfredo, on this. Seattle right now, looking at the NFC Championship next week, and they're going to be potentially facing either Chicago or the Los Angeles Rams. Is this a team, the Seattle Seahawks, who you think are going to win the Super Bowl in 3 weeks' time?
I do. Honestly, before the game start, I thought whoever wins this game is gonna take it all and win it all. And well, of course, what wasn't the 49ers?
One team won it. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's for sure. And what I see today from Seattle Seahawks, they have everything, 3 phases. Will mentioned during the game, the special teams unit is a 3rd on the league, and the defense is one of the best, or the best. Offense across the board, the offensive lineman is one of the best. Having Kenneth Walker running the ball like he did today with that speed, I mean, I don't see a team in the NFL stopping this team, Seattle Seahawks.
Just a phenomenal stat that's just popped up, by the way, before we wrap. Kenneth Walker III, the first Seahawks player with 3 rushing touchdowns in a playoff game since Shaun Alexander back in 2003, and that happened to be against the Green Bay Packers. He popped off tonight, and a player where they've really not run the ball at a consistent rate this season, but goodness me, they did it tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure being with you, Alfredo Gutierrez, over the last couple of weeks, from Philadelphia last weekend to here in Seattle. Thank you so much for joining us on the talkSPORT Network. We hope you've had fun.
I did. I actually had fun. This was my first one ever last week with you guys, so I will remember this for the rest of my life.
You will be back, I'm sure, and as ever, Will Gavin, on that flight, early, only arriving in Seattle at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And goodness me, and you might be flagging, but Seattle is going to be lively tonight. Thank you for all of your fantastic work over the last
hours since I woke up this morning. Now, it was great. Will Varney's done an unbelievable job. I know that we're just puckering up to each other right now.
Waxing lyrical, yes.
Will Varney has done a sensational job in producing, but also in writing, and also in everything he's done for us from a hosting perspective as well. And well, don't get us wrong, we're not going to be out here for an NFC or AFC Championship game next week. That's a little disappointing. But in 2 weeks' time, we're going to land in Santa Clara. We're going to bring some unbelievable content to both the talkSPORT USA YouTube channel, to talkSPORT itself, to talkSPORT 2 with a daily show. We're going to be opening night. We're going to be doing interview after interview on Radio Row. We're absolutely going to bring you the best Super Bowl content anywhere to the UK market. And then we will call Super Bowl 60. It will be myself, Will Varney in the booth with me, Ross Tucker and Greg Rosenthal for a sensational 3-man booth, if I do say so myself, limping myself into that. And then we're going to do it all over again in 7 months' time. So thank you so much, gents. It's been a real joy. I'm going to go and have a beer and then maybe a sleep. But the beer first.
It has been a phenomenal...
2 beers.
It's been maybe 2 beers. Why not? Treat yourself.
Just once. Stone Cold style. Smashing them in the air.
But this has been a special couple of weeks, being out here in the United States, last week in Philadelphia and then tonight in Seattle. My thanks to Will and to Alfredo, as ever, for their superb work bringing you the game. A reminder for you to check out our talkSPORT USA YouTube channel, by the way. You're going to hear our weekly Across the Formation podcast. Will, Ollie Hunter, Sam Harris. They're going to be breaking down all of the news and storylines from the divisional round weekend. They'll be touching on this game, I am sure. I think Will might have some strong opinions on it. Don't you worry. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us right now, thank you so much for joining us on the talkSPORT and the talkSPORT USA YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. You won't miss